Welcome to Smodcastle Cinemas. I'm Kevin Smith, man. Oh my God, how delightful to see a bunch of people in the room here tonight with us. We're going to have a good time, kids. Just real quick housekeeping. How many people have been to Smodcastle before? Put your hands together real quick. Nice. For our own edification, how many people have never been here before? Put your hands together real quick. So to those who have been here before, thank you, and thank you for returning. We enjoy your patronage and appreciate it very much. But don't start shit, because it sounds like there's more of them than us tonight. Way more fucking outsiders and stuff. Those of you who've never been here before, welcome to our humble little cinema. Just while we're in a world of polling, and I know everyone's like, no more fucking polls. How many people have ever, let's start this way. How many people have not seen the George Lucas talk show? Put your hands together real quick. Wow. You're about to be educated. How many people have seen the George Lucas talk show? We are delighted that they're bringing the show, brought the show all the way down here to Smodcastle Cinemas where the movies come to play. This is the movie theater that I used to attend as a child and now attend as an adult for fucking free. But this was our childhood theater growing up. Me and the guy who runs the place, Smodcastle keeper Ernie O'Donnell, he's standing right there. And it was in threatening, after COVID, it was one of those places like, we gotta fucking close it and turn it into condos. And me and Ernie and our friends got together and saved the place. And it's very, thank you. I didn't say it for that, but thank you. And it's wonderful, man, because we get to play in the place that we played when we were kids and make pretend. We shot a whole ass movie here and whatnot. And there's an apartment upstairs. I live upstairs, so it's like I'm a filmmaker who lives above a movie theater. It's adorable. It's like a cobbler who lives in a giant shoe. So it's all fucking, happily ever after until you actually have to run a fucking business. And film exhibition is in the fucking toilet, man. We ain't seen this many people in this theater, like, ever. No. Yes, that's true. Crazy House. We had a bunch of. Don't fucking correct me in front of the new people. What the fuck? We don't encourage that shit, people. Like, don't just yell shit out. We're a nonprofit organization, kids, and so instead of crying poverty and whatnot and passing the hat and asking for donations, at which point you'd be like, "Don't you make movies for a living?" Rightfully so. What we like to do is auction shit, one-of-a-kind shit that you can walk away with at the end of the night, man. We only have a small bag full of it and whatnot. All the profits will go to paying, like, our staff. For example, Connor, our manager. Give it up for him and stuff. There's nothing more Connor would love in life than to fucking eat, kids. So Connor's got to eat. So the stuff that we auction off tonight will go to paying Connor, keeping the lights on and whatnot. We're a 401c3. How do you say it? 501. Don't listen. We're a 420. We're a 501c3, so you can technically write off your donation, I believe. I'm not good with the tax laws and shit like that. Okay. You can participate. You do not have to participate. There's no pressure or whatnot. It's fun. It turns into like a back and forth, a little battle and shit like that. If you have cash, that's great. You give it to Ernie. Ernie will take your cash. If you got a credit card and you want to pay for shit, Connor will take your credit card. Okay, kids, here we go. We're off to the races, man. This is a Avengers Endgame mini poster signed by the Russo brothers. That's right. Bona fide, legit filmmakers, not this huckster you're listening to up here. I assure you, the Russo brothers are nowhere auctioning off a Kevin Smith signed poster. I know how my bread's buttered. So the Russo brothers came here, did a show last year. In fact, it was last year, November 3rd, same night that my wife busted her hip and shit. No relation whatsoever. I was here. That happened back west. Ernie's going to take the poster. It's signed by two filmmaking legends, man, and one of the most fun films ever made and shit. Let's start the bidding at, say, $20. Who's got $20? No. 20 right there. 30 right there. 50 right there. 50 going once. 50 going twice. 60 right there. Look at that. I love the person that's like, come on. Yes, bid, motherfucker. No. 60, we're at $60, man, for this poster. Signed by filmmaking gods, ladies and gentlemen. $60 going once. 70 right there, man. Sparing me the fucking thing I was about to say, which I'll say now. There will never be another one of these. This is the one and only. It's the last one. When they were here, man, we put them to work. We had them sign a bunch of shit. This is literally the last poster that we have that's been signed. So what are we at right now? 70. 70 going once, kids. 70 going twice. Sold for $70. Give it up to that winner right there. Kids, in our lobby, we got one of these signs that says, please silence or turn off your cell phones in the cinema. Fellow relics of the 90s, please turn off your pagers. And it depicts Jay and Silent Bob. It says, thank you, enjoy the show, Smodcastle Cinemas. The difference between the one out there and the one right here is this one is signed by film acting legend Jason Mewes and the man who works him like a puppet, Kevin Smith. We will start the bidding at $25. Who's got 25 right there? 30 right there. 50 over there. 60 right there. 60 going once. 60 going twice. 70 right there. Ooh, just snapped from the fucking jaws of victory right into the fucking agony of defeat. $70, kids. What is it? 80. Shit, there goes my rap. I was about to say a bunch of things, but we're at 80. I didn't have to say shit. You know what? Watch this. Fucking Silent Bob can't sell shit. $80, kids. $80 going once. $80 going twice. Sold for $80. Come get your picture. Who saw Terrifier 3? Here's a box from Terrifier 2, kids. It's Art Krispies, man. We don't know what's inside, but it's pretty fucking cool. It's pretty rare, too. We had the Terrifier kids here a couple years ago. We did Terrifier 1 and 2 back-to-back, had a double feature and stuff. So they left us with some cool stuff that we can auction off to y'all. Start the bidding at $20. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. The numbers are flying. 80 right there, kids. We're at $80, man. $80. If you want, I wouldn't recommend this, but I'm happy to tag the back of the box for you. That will probably bring the value down. And puzzle people. What did he have to do with it and shit like that? $80 going once. $80 going 90 right there, man. We're at $90. Almost at 3 digits for the Art Krispies. 90 going once, kids. 100. We rang the bell. Give it up for a man. 3 bills and shit. $100 going once, kids. $100 going twice. Sold to the man for $100. Come get your Art Krispies. Okay. Here's a movie, Jay and Silent Bob reboot. It's a Blu-ray, and it's signed by the 2 titular stars, Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. But if you're like, fuck those guys, well, don't worry. There's a bona fide celebrity on here. Jason Lee has also signed it as well, kids. That's right. Ooh, the hush went over the crowd. They're like, he was Earl. Signed by Earl and fucking Cheech and Chong, whatever the fuck's names. Let's start it at $25. 60, way back there. We took 60? $100 right there. Give it up for that bid. That's amazing. We're at $100, man. He's like, you know what? One day Jason Lee's gonna die. This is gonna be a valuable piece of real estate right here. We're at $100, man, for the Blu-ray. Signed, Jay and Silent Bob reboot, signed by 2 Jasons and a Kevin. How much? 110. All right, we're at 110. Things have gotten interesting. What the fuck? You gonna let that shit happen? We're at $110, kids. There's other stuff in the bag. Don't worry about it. 110 going once, but only one of these. 110 going twice. Sold for $110. Come get your Blu-ray. We're almost done, kids. Oh, look at this. This is a garment. Oh, shit. Had I known, I'd have brought all my clothes. Okay, kids, this is a pretty sweet hoodie. Show them what it looks like. Ern is like our Vanna White. It's a Jay and Silent Bob's 3XL. It's a Jay and Silent Bob Secret Stash hoodie, but it's not like, you know, cloth hoodie. It's made of that shiny material, man. Good for sweating in and shit like that. 3XL, it's good for a couple people. Or one, you know, or, you know, very cozy one. It's like its own fucking slanket, you know. Let's start you know what? I'm going to let you guys start the bidding. We're starting at 50 bucks, kids. We're at 69, the sexiest fucking bit of the night. Oh my God, I got a little turgid. Well done. Blood moved. We're at $69, kids. We hate to ruin that bid, but we're at 69. 69 going once. 70, right? To paraphrase the great George Carlin, 70 is 69 with a finger up the ass. So yes, 70 it shall be. We're at $70, kids. 70 going once. 75. That's right, man. We're at 75 bucks, man. You could wear this right now through the whole fucking show. 75 going once. 75 going twice. 85. Excellent pull. A dramatic turn of events at the last second. More interesting than any movie you'll watch here at Smodcastle Cinemas tonight, man. The turn of events we're right now. 85 bucks, kids. If you want, I'll tag it for you too. And if you're like, I'll pay you not to tag it, I'll take that money as well. We're at $85, kids. 85 going once. 85 going twice. Sold for 85 bucks. Come get your hoodie. 4 left to go, and we're almost there. Hey, I made a movie right here in this very theater, man. It's called the 4:30 movie. This is the Steelbook Blu-ray that just came out the other day. So inside, it looks like a VHS, an old VHS, but it's got 2 discs inside and whatnot. Watch the movie shot in this very fucking room. What, I got to sign it now? I know, I was kidding. All right, so I'm going to go, fuck Muse, I'll go over his face. Where do you want it? Choose your words carefully. I won't put it on any faces. I'll put it above the faces. Not the face. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting Smodcastle Cinemas. Okay. This bad boy retails for $34.99 right now. So we'll start the bidding. It's signed by Kevin Smith. Not only did I sign the slipcase, I signed the metal thing, and I signed the 2 DVD, the Blu-rays inside. We'll start the bidding at 35 bucks. 50. We're at 50 right there. 60 back there. 75 right there. Fuck, we skipped 69. But we need the money. 70 right there. 90 right there. Well done. How much? $100. Give it up. We rang the bell, ladies and gentlemen. $100, man. 100 going once. 110 right there. 110 going once. 150. Nice. Oh my God, Connor, you're gonna fucking eat for 2 nights. We are at $150, kids. 150 going once. You know what? This guy's in the movie too. I bet you he'll sign it as well, man. $150 going once. $150 going twice. Sold for 150 bucks. Thank you for your support. Come get your Blu-ray. Your Steelbook. All right, kids, I don't claim to be much of an artist, and most critics will tell you I'm right. But I can draw Bullwinkle. That's right. This is the one talent I have in this world. You'd imagine that I could draw Silent Bob, but I can't. But I can draw this. I've been drawing it since I was a kid and whatnot. So when we do shows, I'll draw a Bullwinkle, and it's a one-of-a-kind fucking piece, man. This says the George Lucas Talk Show at Smodcastle Cinemas, 11/9/24, and it's signed by Kevin Smith, man. Let's start. I'll leave it. It does say 1 of 3. Shut the fuck up. We'll get to that maybe. We'll see. We got to read the room. One of a kind, ladies and gentlemen. It truly is one of a kind. You'll see. One of a kind. Let's start the bidding at 50. We're starting at 50. 80 right there. 90 right there. Do you know how fucking 100 right there? Well done. Give it up for her, man. We rang the century bell. We're at $100, kids. 110 right there. 115 right there. 125. Hawk Tua. We're at $125, kids. 125 going once. 130. That's right. Ooh, we're so close to one of my favorite numbers. $130, kids. 130 going once. 135. So damn close. $135, man. Well done. Give it up for that person. Well done. You saw where I was going with that. We're at $137, kids. We want to stop there, but of course we'd always like to make more money. 137 going once. 130. $145. Nice, an $8 jump. Said, fuck you, stole it. $145 going once. $145 going twice. $150. Right on. We're at $150, man. This night's never gonna end. The George Lucas Talk Show has been preempted for this auction. $150, kids. $150 going once. $150 going. $160. Fuck. Yeah. You guys, you like art? We're at $160, kids. And I can see why. Look at the fucking, you know how much time went into this? More than that. I had to check the spelling a few times. $160 for this one-of-a-kind moose. 160 going once. 160 going twice. Sold for $160. Come and get your picture. All right, here's another one. But show them how it looks different. Ern, pick up that other one and show them side by side so I don't get fucking tarred and feathered. Yeah, there you go. Look, see? They are technically different. But this one says 2 of 3, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you win. You know what? Who had the 137 bid? You win. Come get this fucking thing. Excellent job. $137. And then just in case. It is already signed. But I can get it signed to you, like to. Yeah, I could do that too for $150. Yes. Absolutely, I could. Done and done. I could personalize to you. It's already signed, but I'll put your name to it. Meanwhile, why, thank you. Kids, here we are with the final Bullwinkle of the evening. Once again, commemorates what's going on here. The George Lucas Talk Show. Ernie will spokesmodel it off. 69. Thank you. And we immediately jumped to 75. We're at 75. 80. 85. These are all great numbers, but let's stop and lament the fact that we passed 69 so quickly. And isn't that the way it always is? $100. Give it up for that man right there. 3 fucking figures. We're at $100, kids. $100 for the last Bullwinkle evening. $100 going once. $100 going twice. 110. 110 going once. 110 going twice. 120. 120 going once. 120 going twice. 125 sniped at the last second. $125, kids, for the one-of-a-kind, well, 1 of 3. We're at 130 now. 130 going once. 130 going twice. What? 135. Thank God you clarified. I was going to be like $483. 137 over here. 137 going once. $137 going twice. 140. It's a battle of wills here. All right, $140, kids. $140. 140 going once. 140 going twice. Sold for $140. Come get your artwork. Oh my God, and that's it. The bag is empty. I thank you for suffering through the auction. Was that okay, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, I'll do it. Let me get off. All right, folks. Now that we've done that, how is it?
Connie.
2 N's and an I and an E?
Got it.
Jersey spelling?
Jersey, upstate New York, whatever.
Connie, I fucking heart you. You rock. Give it up for Connie. Thank you, Connie. Yeah, totally. Totally. To whom? Drew is my homeboy. Done and done, man. Wasn't that going on tonight?
Today and tomorrow.
Drew is my homeboy.
Showing at 1 o'clock at Smodcastle.
That's right, man. Tomorrow you can come see Drew is my homeboy. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, right here at Smodcastle.
We'll see you.
I'll be there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Almost there, kids. Hi. On the back? Not on the front. I see. Harley and Chris. Chris is spelled the same?
No, never.
I was kidding. Harley and Chris, why are you ashamed of my signature? Bam. Thank you. Thank you for your support of Smodcastle. All right, kids. It's time for the fucking show, man. You ready for the show? Anybody that knows the show knows there's only one way to begin this show, man, and that way has been waiting to begin this show. Not in a nice green room with air conditioning, but in a tiny closet with only one way out. He's been trapped there while y'all been sitting here and whatnot, and I'm sure when we were about to start the show, he heard me hit the stage. He was like, oh, thank God. And then I was like, and now the auction. So there could be a chance that we call him and he doesn't come out and we need to call the hospital. But barring that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, man. A very funny cat from the other side of the galaxy. Give it up for Watto!
There's no air in there, man! Drill some fucking holes in that closet. Oh.
I figured with you being used to the desert of Tatooine, you could handle that closet.
I usually fly above it all. Hey, how's it going, buddy? How's it going? Nice to see you.
That's
nice
how show
to see
business
you.
people greet each other.
This is what we do. Hey,
Side
nice
hug,
to
side
see you.
hug.
And here's the trick about show business people. That's what you do even if you've never met the person before.
Yes.
Because you don't want to risk offending someone.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
man, nice to see you. Great to see you. Yes. Linklater, is that, I think?
I prefer Wes Anderson.
Well, folks, here we are. Kevin, thank you so much for having us here.
I'm so delighted you're here, but I feel like I've taken enough stage time. I'm going to hand it off to you for a moment.
I appreciate that.
Work it by
Yes.
yourself.
Oh,
Ladies
okay.
and gentlemen,
Okay.
give it up for Watto Solo.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Very, very kind of Kevin to take a hint. Now we can get started warming up the crowd, okay? I'm very excited to say some stuff now on stage that you have not yet heard on stage tonight. How about we do a little polling? I know what you folks are thinking. Fuck, polling now, this week? No, but hear me out. Who here has never seen the George Lucas talk show before? This is a new proprietary question being asked on this stage for the first time. Raise your hand. Let's not do a clap. Let's do a raise of the hand. You on the aisle with the Kevin Smith hockey jersey. May I ask you, and this is a safe space, the safest space in New Jersey. There is no wrong answer to this question. What do you think this is? Correct. We are all in grave jeopardy of laughing our butts off tonight. There we go. Great. Good. Okay. You folks feel warm. Before we start the show, and I know there's been a lot of ramp up, I do want to mention that the George Lucas Talk Show is a non-profit. We are at THX 1138C. And so, we're not going to pass around the sequel hat or anything, but I do feel like it would be good to briefly just take this opportunity to raise some money to keep the lights on at the apartment that I own at the Dakota. This is charitable, so I got the quick item here. Hold on one second. This is a pack of Hall's Soothers blackcurrant flavor lozenges. I think that's what they are because they've been in here so long that the label has mostly burned off. So this is just kind of a nice gesture to get things off on the right foot. So quickly, we'll just auction these. I'm going to ask for a starting price of $5,000. Do I hear $5,000? Do I hear $5,000? Someone started to raise their hand and then the person next to them just slapped their arm down so fast. I realize 5,000 is a little much, so I'm going to include as a bonus, this is an expired drink ticket from a venue we performed at over a year ago. But as a bonus, on the back, I have written the names of the two guests from a show we did over 2 years ago. as the insurance policy to not say their names incorrectly. And here's a fun bonus. One of these two names is, bar none, the worst guest we ever had in the history of the fucking show. You got a 50-50 chance of guessing who was the only guest in 10 years I was compelled to spit on. I didn't do it, but I was compelled. And because this name is included, I'm lowering the price of this bundle to 50 cents. Do I hear 50 cents? Right there, 50 cents, you got a deal. There we go. Oh, and it came with change. Perfect. Okay, there you go. It's the top name. Yeah, the top one. The other guy was cool. You're gonna have to Google him to figure out who he was. He had no excuse to act that way. Anyway, let's start the fucking show. This is called dramatic tension. It is a wind-up. Let's do a little drum roll.
Welcome retired filmmaker George Lucas.
Hello, I'm George Lucas, creator of Star Wars. Welcome to the George Lucas Talk Show. Hello, Watto.
Hey, I'm Watto. George, you got some pep in your step tonight. You were moving quickly.
Very excited. Well, that auction got me all hyped up.
Lot of money raised for good causes. You know, George, people are saying This is the most New Jersey George Lucas talk show ever.
I think, yeah, they might be right about that.
It's happening in New Jersey. We got Kevin Smith and Chris Gethard. Springsteen's reps reached out. We said, not Jersey enough.
Yeah. Yeah, we're no room left on the stage.
No.
And we would have had the boss here tonight, but I'm the boss.
Correct. Tony Danza also reached out.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
went, no.
And although technically he was a domestic help, he was not the boss. That's the answer to that show.
Well, but the question was asked, and some people guessed it was him.
But also the reason we couldn't have Bruce Springsteen on the show tonight is because Patrick Kottner takes up one of the chairs on the stage. So that would be a good way to introduce Patrick. He's here instead of Bruce Springsteen. Oh. But
It's a real coin toss in terms of who would move more tickets, Bruce Springsteen or Patrick Kottner.
where'd you get that, Patrick?
It was back there, and
Yeah.
I saw it, and I said, "Can I take that?" And
Yeah.
they said yes.
All right.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Well, I don't want to, because I feel like we've had a lot of action up top.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to do anything without our guests here. I say we go ahead and bring both of our guests out.
I agree.
Let's do it.
Groguers and Gradras, please welcome to the stage, not Bruce Springsteen, Kevin Smith and Chris Gethard.
Hi.
Now, George, Kevin has an unknowing advantage here.
An amazing advantage for a new element of the show that most of you aren't aware of here. And we can explain it now that we're past the point
Yeah.
of...
It's a blockbuster new element.
This is a new element to the show, very fresh. And most of you you'll understand once I explain it. People in the audience of our shows, they yell, our guests, and then whichever guest sits down last is the power guest. Now, because you specifically, I don't think you had an inside track on this, but I believe your people requested a podium and not a chair.
I generally don't sit, because one time I sat in front of this audience and somebody put up on social media a picture of up my jorts.
Right.
And it wasn't flattering. It wasn't like, what a cock shot. It was
why-
like, is there a cock? You know.
Yeah, that's why I got this desk right here, is to cover the cock.
It's the modesty cock.
Yeah. So, Chris, unfortunately, you never had a chance of being the power guest because we provided you a chair. It's obvious that you would sit in it. And the guests are not to be aware of this bit. It's supposed to happen naturally, but you had a structural disadvantage.
I also walked up first, which did make it logical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were never in it.
I didn't realize there was a competition happening.
That's the point. We're not supposed to. It's happened organically with the audience, and we decided the guests will never know. But this couldn't have been a more unfair fight. And it's a home game for you because this is your venue.
It's true.
Yeah. We've never met in person. We've only met. We did it. You were a Zoom guest, Chris. You and I have met in person.
I was the first show at UCB. I was your guest.
And I also, did you audition for Annie?
I did audition for Annie.
I can't
Little
remember. We saw a
Annie.
lot of little kids
Yeah.
back then.
I did. I got 2 callbacks, but it didn't work out.
Yeah. Well, a lot of kids disappointed in that. You know, couldn't cast them all.
I can take a lump, sure.
But you're both Jersey guys. You're both big Lucas heads. You love Star Wars. You love Radioland Murders. You love.
Also had never met before today.
Yeah, and can I just say one thing? Can I just also we met before the show. I played it very cool. George, you and I have met before. This is the first night I've met Kevin. I am a big Jersey guy. I'm also a child of the 90s, and I can say without exaggeration, I am currently sitting next to the 2 filmmakers who affected me most growing up. By far, I need to say a couple things, George, and I mean no disrespect to you, but Kevin, being that we're first meeting, and I am a big Jersey guy, I really feel like my brother snuck me into Mallrats. He bought tickets to Powder, and then we went to Mallrats. He was like, we're not seeing fucking Powder, man, let's go. And we had already seen Clerks. And
Chris, do you have $10?
it was, yes, I did not
You
help
could
the
Venmo
situation.
me as
I didn't-
well, but-
I didn't help the situation. But we went to the East Hanover Theater on Route 10. It was a great night in my life. Me and my friend Mike D, who is still one of my best friends to this day, watched that tape. We got the VHS of Mallrats. We watched it till it broke. And I really
Did you
don't-
buy the VHS?
We did purchase the
Okay,
VHS.
okay.
I'm happy to tell you. But I think for a lot of people in this room, I don't want to speak for you, but I bet there's other people who agree. A lot of us grew up and we understood that musicians could do things DIY. And then we all heard that you sold your fucking comic book collection and made a movie, and it told a lot of people like me that we could go and try stuff too. Like other kids from New Jersey who weren't from families in the arts, who weren't rich kids, who just wanted to go and try. You gave us permission to try, and I've wanted to say that to you for close to 30 years. So thank you for that.
My God. I know I'm not supposed to cry this early in the show, but like that really touches me. That means a lot, man. Thank you.
No,
Especially
for sure.
somebody who's become so important to the culture. To be like, hey man, fucking you. That means the world. However, I do want to take this opportunity to say this. Back in 1995, after the opening weekend of Mallrats, which was the Monday morning, man, when we got the really bad news that the movie didn't do well, I remember specifically going, how did it do in East Hanover?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were like,
If you had sold one more ticket.
Yeah, they were like, Powder did better. And
Deeply.
and I've wanted to say that for 30 years.
I get it. I get it.
Thank you. That means
I
the
did
world.
pay. I saw Chasing Amy at the Claridge Cinema in Montclair. I paid for my ticket. One of the great independent movie theaters. I believe still
I
independent.
saw Jurassic Park there.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the movie theater that's next to the abortion clinic.
Sounds very Montclair. That is a very Montclair thing to say.
That's how I
We're
always
gonna make a
know
lot
it.
of Jersey references. You three will
No
not
idea.
get tonight.
No idea.
But an indie film theater next to an abortion clinic.
Yes.
We're talking Montclair, New Jersey, right there.
Chris, a deeply moving and poignant way to kick off the
Thanks,
show.
Watto.
I'm just curious if you have anything to say about the two gentlemen sitting on the other side of you.
Any
Your thoughts have been made
influences?
very
Did we-
clear in this
Here,
direction.
Here, let me give him some popcorn. Warm them up a little bit.
Is
You
this
want
real?
some?
Oh, this is actually
Yeah, it's
Smodcastle
real
popcorn.
popcorn.
I wasn't sure if it was some prop you guys bring to every show you do.
Okay. All right. Now, anything?
It's delicious. Yeah, no, you guys are nice too. Yeah, like Watto. Some of my favorite scenes in Phantom Menace.
Thank you.
Okay.
Patrick, it was really fun working with you back in the public access studio.
Yeah.
Choking. Sorry.
Okay.
Was that a COVID joke? What are you doing?
What?
I didn't know if the coughing was a comedy
No,
bit.
I'm choking on the popcorn.
Oh, okay.
I'm legitimately choking on the brown part.
Chris, did you ever steal from me?
Have I ever stolen from you? No, but I do remember. I very distinctly remember the first time I saw Star Wars. It was I was born in 1980, and in the first house I lived on Franklin Ave in West Orange, standing in front of my parents' big old wooden TV, and I just remember the R2 and C-3PO walking through the desert shot. I remember it so clearly from when I was a kid.
That's
And we
great.
moved out of that house when I was 5, so I was less than 5 years old.
Yeah, it's a pretty good shot.
A lot of people say Hidden Fortress was the inspiration for it.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. Most people say it because I said it. I don't know if you're trying to get me, but you didn't.
I'm trying to get anybody, man.
Yeah. Well, what did you we talked a lot already about Watto and the Phantom Menace. What do you think about his scene in Attack of the Clones? Did you not like that?
Yeah. Sometimes it's about quality, not quantity. You know, one high-impact scene in Attack of the Clones. I think I kind of honed my craft on that one. I simplified it. I sharpened the blade.
I just will say on my end, while Watto, you were great in Attack of the Clones, that entire movie was stolen by my main man,
Kit
Fisto.
Yep.
Absolute Kit Fisto. That is.
Yep.
I actually feel like that is a Kit Fisto vehicle.
Yes. Old buddy of mine, great guy. Kev, do you have Kit Fisto thoughts? I'm going to warn you, much like Geth just warned us, there's going to be a lot of New Jersey references. Tonight might be 50% Kit Fisto talk.
Kit Fisto, green Jedi. He's got the tendrils.
He's got the head tentacles. Goes
I'm
on.
sorry. I thought you were just informing. You wanted me to pick up the ball and run with that bit?
I just wonder. But
I literally thought you were like, this is the problem with this show is I am entertained by it to the point where I started just watching the show. And I forgot that I'm meant to do things in it. Let me try to be entertaining. Fucking, yeah, Kid Fisto, man. Fucking, yeah.
That's great.
The second best Fisto in pop culture.
I mean, look, there's a conflict of interest here. No, but Gethard, I've heard you wax rhapsodic about Kid Fisto in various venues
love
across
Kid Fisto, yeah.
a decade.
Yeah.
I know you've made appearances on the George Lucas talk show before, but I don't know how much you've ever asked George about the development and creation of Fisto.
George?
I don't remember.
There's actually another thing I want to ask George about is now that we've had the 9 movies plus
Yeah.
Rogue One and everything, I would actually argue even more than Kid Fisto, one thing I'd love to ask George is I think you could look at the amount that he was present for important battles in that world, and you could actually argue that Star Wars is about Nien Nunb. You could argue that Nien Nunb. You could argue that Sullustan is the main character of Star Wars.
Nien Nunb is?
That if you start to look at how many things he was present for that are crucially
He was in
important.
one movie.
No, Kevin.
He's in the background. He's in the background everywhere.
He's in one movie that matters.
Oh.
Oh,
He's
I get
Return
it.
of the
I
Jedi.
get it. I get
Yeah.
what you're doing. It's because it's all one big movie. You're playing with me. I get it. I was like, what does he mean?
I'll be honest with you. Kid Fisto has the look, but I'm a Dak man all the way. I love Dak.
Dak
because
Rendar.
Dak jumps into the movie where they're like, how you feeling today, Dak? He's like, look, I can take on the whole empire by myself. And then gets killed the fuck out of right away. That's the guy I believe. That's the one I identify most with in Star Wars, George.
Well, I mean, I don't know if perhaps this doesn't directly answer your question. I hope it does. But I wrote the book, the original Star Wars book, Star Wars by George Lucas. And my wife, Melody Hobson, has a book out. This is a bestseller. This is one of Oprah's favorite things. Made the Oprah's favorite
Thank
things
you
list.
so much, yeah.
Priceless facts about money from the beginning of time to the coins in your couch. And that this was before couches were politicized by the most recent election. I know we have a vice president-elect who does unspeakable things to couches, allegedly. But Kevin, I know you're a big Lucas fan. Do you have this book yet?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah? Chris, so you have a copy.
No, I don't have a copy.
It looks exactly like you have a copy.
Well,
I'm
it was
looking-
handed to me moments ago. I didn't bring
okay.
it with me.
All right, well, you're a very honest boy, aren't you? This would be a good. It's a kid's book about money.
Great.
Do you have money?
I have some money, and I also have a kid.
Do you have 1999?
I do have 1999. Yeah.
Well, you're so close to getting this book then.
Just pull out your phone. You can order it right now.
Yeah. Pull out your phone. You can order it right now.
Amazon. It's like 2 clicks.
Yeah.
Whose copy? I thought you were giving.
No,
this
that's
to me.
mine.
No, it's Watto's copy.
Oh, that's
You
Watto's
get- I
copy.
paid for that.
Chris.
Oh.
Although you
let
could
me get this for you, man.
Oh, you could also.
Oh, no. Please, I've taken enough money out of your pockets.
You really
That
have.
sad
but
day at East
Oh, I
Hanover.
don't sell it directly, but okay. I kind of like this. This is my copy.
You don't fucking sell directly. I've mixed many movies up at fucking Skywalker, and every time I've been up there, I was like, I bet you my parents paid for that chair, technically, with all the shit we bought, man. Can I tell you a story about your wife? And you'll remember this because this
Okay.
happened with us.
Yeah.
It happened to us.
All right.
But let's see if you remember this.
I bet I will.
This is a true story. So there's some Editors Association award ceremony that they were like, will you go and present an award to John Waters? And I was like, I love John Waters.
Right.
I would absolutely love to do it. So while I'm standing there out back, waiting for the thing to begin, because they told me to get there like at a appointed time that was 3 hours from when the ceremony was going to happen. So I was just milling about outside. They were like, you can't be out here. I said, why? They're like, because George Lucas is coming. And I was like, so you mean me specifically I can't be out here, or just fucking people in general? They're like, we can't have people here, man. So I go inside and I told some other people, I was like, George Lucas is going to be here. And they're like, so? I'm like, fuck you. So George Lucas comes in. You come in.
What year is this?
This is like 6 months ago.
Oh, well, I'll definitely remember this.
Yeah. Just happened. So
Although maybe not. You know, sometimes you remember older stuff and then newer stuff. It's like, what's going on?
You came in with your wife.
Yeah, Melody.
And
I was worried because you said editing awards. I'm like, is this about my first wife? She was an editor.
yeah, no, this.
I was like, I don't know what this
ain't
story
a Marcia
is.
story. This is a current
6 months
story.
ago. It's
6
Melody.
months ago.
Okay, so what's going to happen?
So, you remember?
Look at this. Look at me. George Lucas, wrapped by your storytelling.
There was, you were standing there with your wife
Yeah.
off to the side.
I love her.
And that was clear. That was very clear. So there was a host for the evening who was a drag queen, and there were a couple different outfit changes.
I think it was Nina West, right?
What is it?
Nina West?
Yes.
I think it was Nina West, yeah.
And the outfit that Nina wore to introduce you was a fantastic combination of Princess Leia. What do we call her? No longer.
Hut Slayer Leia.
Thank you, Hut Slayer Leia. But one of the coverings of one of the boobs was Jabba. An entire Jabba puppet, and then her arm was Jabba's arm. So she was Leia here with a little Jabba here and with the arm. So she came out, and I was like, "Oh my God, you look fantastic!" And we took pictures and shit like that. Everyone else in the room, back in the green room, taking pictures. And I see, what's her name?
Nina.
I see Nina look over at you.
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is gonna be interesting." And so Nina and goes over to you, and this was your reaction. Now remember,
All right.
she was wearing the Hut Slayer Leia outfit with a giant Jabba covering her boob, but the arm was out here.
You asked me to remember that. I would never forget that.
So she came over to you, and I'll be you and you be her.
Okay.
Okay. No.
I don't know what she did.
Wait, I'm you and you're her. Okay.
Okay. I'm me again?
You're no, wait. I've never had a chance to be George Lucas before. I want to try this. I'm going to be George. Yes, I need to be George because you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Well,
I know what
happened.
I know what happened, but I don't know what.
100%.
But I'm not.
Jog your memory.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm you.
Yeah.
You're Nina.
I'm Nina.
So give me a little, Nina. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is that the best you could do?
Yes.
That's your drag queen? Fair enough. Put the mic in that hand to leave this one open because this was the Jabba boob.
Oh, the Jabba boob was the left?
I'm gonna, for the purposes of the story, yeah.
Oh, we're reversing the shot?
Yes.
Okay.
Well done. That was director talk right there.
Yeah.
We lost them on that one.
That's right. A little too technical.
Yeah, sorry. So I'll give you a line to say.
Okay.
And it goes, "Hi, Mr. Lucas."
Hi, Mr. Lucas.
And George Lucas go like this. Swear to Christ, you did that.
Yeah.
That literally happened.
No.
Then Nina was like, "Can I take a selfie?" And he said no.
Yeah.
After he fucking punched Jabba, and what was your thought process? Why? That's the whole time. For the rest of the day, I was like, why the fuck would he punch Jabba? Was he like, I hate these fucking characters? Or was he just like, Jabba, he's a bad guy?
Yeah.
What was it?
I did not intend. It was not an intentional tit punch. I
was there, George. It was 100%.
No. But
not like Foxy boxing, but it really like you forgot there was a boob under there.
That's what I'm saying by it not being an intentional tit punch. I didn't see anything resembling a bosom. I saw an evil gangster.
Of course.
And I thought,
you were
I'm
defending.
gonna slow punch this guy. Yes. I thought he was dead.
Once again, you saved the galaxy.
Yeah. And because we don't know if he's dead.
In Jabba.
We don't know.
You know.
I don't know
you
until.
You can tell us right now. We'll all know.
He's not dead.
There you go.
Wow.
Cannon, bitch. Cannon.
Wow. Yeah. He's not. Everyone assumes that an explosion would blow him up, but we don't know. It could have created 20 more little Jabbas that grow. You know.
Can I remind you of the other story that happened at the same ceremony?
Absolutely.
Was he not choked to death?
What?
He didn't explode.
He was, but I think we've talked about
we
on
talked
this
about
show.
this.
Yeah.
No. All he did was he climaxed, then went to sleep.
Got it.
It was a real Michael Hutchins
and
kind
then the
of thing.
explosion, you think, well, that'll dispose of the corpse. Jabba's gonna wake up and think, whoa, in cartoons where like someone kisses, like in an old like Looney Tunes cartoon. By the way, we got to talk about Bullwinkle some more in this show. We got to carve out some time.
Pin in that.
But in cartoons when there's like dynamite instead of a kiss, then it blows up, and then the cartoon character thinks they've just had an explosive kiss, and they go, wow.
Right.
That's Jabba wakes up and the whole barge is gone. His last memory was getting choked off by Leia. And then he wakes up and he's like, whoa.
Sure is dark in here.
Yeah. He thinks that it was such a big moment for him that it destroyed everything around him.
And he was like, how will I ever come that hard again?
The tragic
George,
tale of the
I'm
rest.
so sorry to interrupt, but I just hate how casually you use the phrase choked off.
Right.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
I really hate it. Because it's not a common phrase.
I don't think I've ever heard that phrase.
No, and you said it like you say it 100 times a day.
What else would you? Well, first of all, they didn't say it in the movie because the movies are for kids.
Right.
But that's a phrase in that universe. Like Leia would, if she's telling people what happened.
Well, what kind of music do they listen to? I mean, is this so surprising?
She would describe it as I gave him a choke job, right? I just want to say, there's a certain stripe of Star Wars fan. Chris's son is in the audience tonight, by the way. There's a certain stripe of Star Wars fan who goes, oh, you got to read the books. The movies are only part of it. You don't know the lore unless you read the books and play the games. And that's the real stuff that happened outside the movies.
Really, though, it's listen to the NPR serialization. That's
Well,
the real nerdy.
That's one more Inception level down. But the realist heads know that the final answers mostly come up in the George Lucas talk show.
Yeah.
That Jabba nutted really hard and then woke up in the wreckage of a ship and continues to live to this day. And also, as we've established, Obi-Wan Kenobi did not die in the lightsaber battle with Darth Vader.
Yeah, we're getting heavy into the lore tonight, but yes.
Tell Kevin and Chris what he did, though.
All right. But I do want to say that, and maybe, I don't know, because I don't know if Disney's interested in telling these stories.
These stories are for sale.
But Jabba's a character who, he did a lot of bad things, and you want to see those characters punished. You don't always, because sometimes the bad guys triumph and the good guys live to fight another day. Sometimes they die.
Yeah.
I want you to know that Jabba spends the rest of his days chasing an ungettable nut.
It's like a Twilight
climax
Zone
that he'll
ending.
never top it again.
Chasing a dragon, he'll never slay.
He'll never. For those of you, because people ask about Force ghosts and why do they look a certain age? Why does Obi-Wan look old when he's a Force ghost, but Anakin, when he dies, goes back to? And Jedis aren't supposed to lose their virginity, but if they do, that's the age where their Force ghost is. And so that's the reason you don't see young Obi-Wan as a Force ghost, is because Obi-Wan doesn't lose his virginity until moments before we meet him in A New Hope. And he's still...
He was like, oh shit, someone's coming here. Your dad left this for you. I'll be right out.
Well, that's why the sound that we thought was him impersonating
Yeah,
a
the
Tusken
Tusken
Raider
Raider.
was in fact him reaching a Jabba level of pure bliss moments before he's like, I got some unfinished business. I got to check in with this kid and give him some stuff.
Yeah.
My parents are here.
Yeah.
Chris's son is here. He isn't a competition.
Family
I
night.
just
And
want to say, I think
if
Kit
you-
Fisto looks cool. He acts cool. There's a lot of things to like about Kit Fisto if we just want to go back to that.
If you watch episode 4 again, notice there is a sub-game that's never commented on directly, which is that now that Obi-Wan is a sexual being, he's actualized. Every time he excuses himself from whatever's going on to go do something else, he's going off to get up to some frisky
He's trying to get some strain.
Because there's lots of scenes where he'll say, like, I'm going to go check on this, I'm going to go check on that, and we don't see him for a few minutes. He's always up to something. Because now he knows what he's been missing this whole time.
And he's always down for something, if you catch my drift.
Priceless facts about money. This book, how many people here in the audience have purchased a copy of this book?
1.
1. All right. Hold on. You're going to get... How would you like this George Lucas action figure?
Wow. Huge.
See? It could have been yours, but you didn't buy my wife's book. Yeah, signed by... Yeah.
See,
Yeah, you don't-
the book works. You buy the book, and then suddenly you start getting other things for free.
Interesting he didn't want me to sign it. It's a George Lucas action figure. And yet, immediately, can you sign it? How does that make you feel, Kevin?
It's I got the home field advantage, my movie theater. I think that's why he asked. Not
That's the
because
power
of
guest.
the directing or anything.
George, we should talk about what you just did right there.
Did you just
What?
drink ice cream with a straw?
Yeah, Chris, you gave me this ice cream before, and you said...
Before the show, I said it was really good. I didn't finish it. If you want some.
yeah, you gave me ice cream with no spoon. And it melted.
And then before the show, you asked me if I could get the spoon for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. It's backstage.
Well, in the meantime, I procured a straw.
Okay.
And I've been drinking this what is it, pumpkin what?
It's pumpkin ice cream with pretzels in it. I
Pumpkin
got it at
ice cream.
Franny's Pizza Place.
Pretzels keep clogging up the straw, I gotta say.
I didn't make the ice cream. I didn't
I
manufacture it.
don't know who else to tell.
I brought it with me to the show because I couldn't finish it, and I thought maybe you'd like some.
I do like some.
You seem mad at me about it.
I'm not mad. I may be just on a sugar high. I'm famously diabetic.
When am I allowed to just start asking Kevin questions about
Do
New
it.
Jersey?
Do it.
Anytime.
Here, and while you're asking, I'll give you this time. While you ask your first
Yeah.
question, we're going to open the curtains because I want to play a clip that's going to cheer everybody up. If you've been having a bad week, something really fun happened this week, and you're all going to get to see it if you missed it. It's really fun. Go.
Do you consider, you are obviously an iconic Jersey guy. In your heart, do you consider yourself a full Jersey guy or more of a Monmouth County guy?
I'm
gonna get
I would
granular.
Say specifically Monmouth County, because there are sometimes people reference towns in Jersey, and I'm like, that's in Jersey.
Yeah.
And, like, you think you know the entire state, but it's unknowable. Let's be honest.
In Chasing Amy, you shouted out my local comic book store, which was Time Warp in Cedar Grove, and I was very shocked though that a Monmouth County filmmaker gave such.
They came up. They were one of the stores that was willing to like come up and set up their con wall book selection and their long boxes.
So mostly a smart play on their part.
Yeah, I mean, smart, but it depends if you're like, I like to sit around a fucking place for 12 hours while they keep doing the same shit over and over. Like, it can get tedious, but, you saw it and you were like, holy fuck,
It blew my
I buy
mind.
my books there.
Yeah, that was, my dad used to take me there because there was one in Montclair called Middle Earth, but they sold like the R. Crumb style stuff. And my dad was like, I'll take you to this other one that like has more lights and seems less sexual.
You won't be as sexual as Obi-Wan in this store.
Now, when I was 19, I got hired to work at Weird New Jersey magazine, and we were very excited because there were times where you reached out to like put books in the background of stuff, which was always very cool. Did you grow up going to Weird New Jersey sites before Weird New Jersey was even a formalized thing?
No, but I worked in so many convenience stores that I would see the magazine all the time.
That was your exposure to it.
Yeah.
Because there was one Monmouth County place I never got to. It was gone. It was called Bud's Grave, and I always wondered if you went to
I've been to
Bud's
Bud's
Grave.
Grave.
You've been to Bud's Grave.
How many people
I've
in the
always
area
wanted
have
to
been
ask you about Bud's Grave.
once
What
or
is
at
Bud's
least-
grave?
Bud's Grave was right near here, and it was
it's almost, it's actually in Highlands. It's right at the tail end of Highlands. There used to be a road that you could take from downtown Highlands to downtown Atlanticons, but they closed the road a couple of years back. So it was this little shack that had like an almost Kevin Spacey in Seven, like attention to detail for knickknacks that have been nailed to it. So, like, if you had an old Barbie doll, somebody would throw it out, this guy would be like, no, and he'd tack it to the wall. So it was just, like, when you were a kid, it captured your imagination. When you were an adult, it was fucking unsettling. You're like, somebody gets murdered in here. This is where the next Saw happens. But it was, we called it Hollywood. We didn't call it Bud's Grave because there was a big sign on it that said Hollywood. And then years later, somebody was like, hey, man, you're from Highlands? You ever go to Bud's Grave? And I was like, no, who's Bud? And they described the place. I was like, oh, that's Hollywood.
can't even stress to you enough that this is an actual dream conversation for me. The other big weird New Jersey site around here that I think everyone in this room knows is the Evil Clown of Middletown.
Yes. We put that one in Clerks too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that clown.
I love that. They almost got rid of that clown.
Yeah, many times.
You guys want to know what the evil? There's a liquor
Yeah,
store.
of course.
Well, there's a liquor store that inexplicably has a clown, a giant, like
Circus Liquors.
20 feet tall, 30 feet tall.
Huge. It's one of those old like
It's got a bloody
roadside
finger.
kind of logos, mascots, but it was for before it was liquors. It was like circus food store.
Got it.
And so they closed like decades ago, and then for the last 20 years, it was like Circus Liquors, or 30 years Circus Liquors. So the whole generation grew up with it going like, that's the food store clown. And then a whole other generation was like, that's the liquor clown.
And now the generation says that's the Clerks 2 clown.
Yes.
Yeah.
3 people in the world are like, that's the...
Whippoorwill Valley Road. You ever drive down there?
Yes! Fucking, oh my God.
I drove down there when I was a Rutgers student. That was legit scary down there.
Very scary. Yeah.
All I've ever wanted to do is talk to Kevin Smith about Whippoorwill Valley Road. It's legit all I've ever wanted
Green
in my
Light
life.
Cemetery? Have you ever heard of Green Light Cemetery?
No, where's Green Light
That
Cemetery?
was a place.
Oh, yeah, where the
too
green
far
light
that we
bounces
were
off the
all-
one grave, right?
Should we
And
just
were all
go?
terrified to go.
Marlboro Mental Hospital, you ever sneak up there?
I think this is
Marlboro-
very
With the
nice.
Virgin Mary statue on the
What
road
makes
behind it,
me
I go
When we were
road.
happy.
kids, they told us if you're fucking bad, we'll send you to Marlboro.
This is a
And then
action.
eventually I went to a fucking nut house. and
Yeah.
shit, years later, man, like two years ago and whatnot. And I was like, oh my God, if this is what Marlboro was like, I would have gone years ago. Like, it was fucking lovely and shit. They made Marlboro sound bad, but fucking, if you ever have a mental health issue, don't hesitate to go to Marlboro, kids.
Is it still open? It's not. Is it still functioning?
Too many people died there.
Yeah.
No, it's
Torn down.
So
was
maybe
just called-
don't go.
it's
Go
scary.
somewhere
Yeah,
else.
But,
Go to
but do not hesitate if you're having a hard time to go to this
Seek
now
out the
abandoned
mental health
facility.
professionals at Marlboro.
Well,
George,
I'm-
can I remind you of the story though? So, part 2 of that evening.
All right.
So John Waters is gonna get his award. And
Yeah.
stuff. And I gotta wait for you to present an award to Walter Murch.
Sound guy.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So Walter Murch.
We
is
named
getting-
for these shows. We name our merch table after him.
Walter
We
Murch.
spell it the Walter way.
Do you give him a piece?
No.
I
Shake the money around and let him listen to it.
It's mostly digital payments at this point, though, so it's not that exciting.
Yeah. He knows what coins sound like.
So you got up to intro Walter Murch, and my intro for John Waters is about 10 minutes, pretty tight 10.
Right.
Your intro for Walter Murch was 55 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
And you didn't say the name Walter Murch until the 20-minute mark. Most of us were like, what is he here for? And then finally you were like, so Walter Murch. And then we were like, oh, there it is. And shit.
Yeah.
So your wife had to come out and bring you off stage
Yeah.
because you had gone on so long. And you literally said, you're like, my wife is here for me. Say it.
My wife is here for me.
That's exactly it. And then you went. And so I went and did the intro for John Waters after that. But while Walter Murch was accepting, I was backstage watching. And then over here is an open hallway where you and your wife walk past.
Yeah.
Now, your wife, like, made eye contact with me. I don't know how the fuck she knew me, but she smiled. I assume she knew me because that's the smile of somebody who's like, oh, I know you.
I told her we had this guy on the Zoom.
She looked at you because you looked at me blankly. She looked at you and goes, and then you went, and that was that.
Yeah. She asked, is this the guy from the Zoom? Yeah.
But then you ran back and you were like, I'll see you at Smodcastle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see you at Smodcastle. Yeah.
George, wait, they're closing
Yeah.
the curtains,
No,
George.
no, no.
Should we show
Don't
the
close the curtains. Show the clip. Roll the clip. This happened on Thursday.
Open the curtains first, then roll the clip.
Open the curtains, then roll the clip.
Don't project it
I
on
hope
the
they have
closed
to
curtain.
completely
They have to close
close
all the
before
way
you can.
through?
I hope they have to completely close
to go
before
through
you
the
can
whole
open them
cycle.
Completely
again.
close.
It's an old theater, kids.
Kevin, at the ranch, you can stop the curtain, go back the other way.
I know.
Can I ask Kevin another Monmouth County question?
Yeah,
Yes.
you have until the curtain is open again.
Here they go, Gethard. Go, go, go,
This is a
go.
very
go,
controversial
go,
one.
Go.
Have you ever been to Gunnison Beach?
No, what is that?
The nude beach on Sandy Hook.
Okay, once again, this is a situation like Hollywood and Bud's Grave. We never called it, what'd you call it?
Gunnison.
We just called it the nude beach.
Yeah.
Have I been there? Not as an active participant, but as an ogler, yes.
You're willing to admit you've ogled at Gunnison.
Are you fucking
Oh,
shitting me?
that's
The
the-
day we found out that there was a nude beach, we had no internet. That broke the internet and shit. So we all went look, because in your mind,
So
you're like,
what?
oh my God.
What generation? This is pre-internet. So this is late '80s.
Pre-internet, late 80s, and who's on that beach? Like your mom, my uncle, like
Elderly
no one
people.
you would ever want to
elderly
see
people
fucking
with
naked.
Prince Albert
Right.
piercings.
And they were so happy to see anybody looking like.
Roll it.
Roll the clip.
Wow in history, then tough rhyming pairs, eminent writers, note the quotation marks, then things have gone off the rails, everyone's lost their marbles, and pure bedlam. Oh no.
Off the Rails 2000.
In this 2012 World War II flick, David Oyelowo included three bold lines taking out an enemy tank. What is red tails?
Oh.
What is red tails?
Oh.
What is red tails?
Wow.
I'm sorry, I just need to call out, before the show, during warm-up, I ask for someone who's never seen the George Lucas talk show before to guess what they think this is going to be. I asked this guy on the end with the Kevin Smith hockey jersey, and he said Jeopardy.
You said Jeopardy?
He got it right! I thought he was wrong and I was humoring him?
George, we have a whole stat. Yeah.
He
Whole bunch of
saw
stuff.
Jeopardy on stage tonight.
I believe it's a book. Oh yes, is this the new Mace Windu book that just came out? Yeah.
Mace Windu, The Glass Abyss.
There you go.
I'll sign it for you in a second.
I just want to clarify, this is the second Star Wars item given away tonight that it's been requested that Kevin sign and George do not.
From a very big fan.
Now, Kevin, I
Hold
was
on,
trying
we're
to...
not moving on from Red Tails.
We're talking Red Tails.
Now, Kevin, we just watched a nationally broadcast quiz show in
They
which
said Red Tails.
Red Tails.
Yeah, I got my little bumps when that happened.
I was
Because
gonna
that-
say
that
now
movie,
Kevin-
honestly, don't
Yes.
get enough
Now
praise.
Kevin Red
Now
Tails.
Kevin Red Tails. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Have you seen Red Tails?
I have. And
Okay.
it doesn't get nearly enough credit.
That's right.
Yeah.
And how cool is that? Those three geniuses couldn't even they were, you know what? I think they started playing through the movie in their head and they wouldn't have been able to answer it
They
until
were almost at the credits. But
Yeah.
it was, red. Oh, boop, boop,
Red
boop.
Tails.
I tell you, it happened to me. I watched three people not get a Kevin Smith clue. So you and I,
What was the hold on.
it was on Jeopardy.
Classic George Lucas tit
Yes,
punch.
Such a George Lucas.
You're right in the
move.
jabba.
He's an equal opportunity tit puncher.
Yeah.
By George, I was Lucased.
what was
What was the hint on Jeopardy for you?
I wasn't prepared. Especially not to the point where I brought a fucking clip. So I don't remember the exact wording, but I remember being like, Kevin Smith. No.
Your name was...
You had to know Kevin Smith.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a tough one. But
Yeah.
to be fair, then it happened 4 years later and somebody made a connection. Okay.
Do you know what the category was?
Cucks.
Cucks?
Yeah. Cuck directors.
Oh boy.
You were the second one. They're like, he watched his wife write a child's book about money.
Well, when I get cucked, I keep the stained glass window made by the guy who cucked me.
I've seen those windows. I've been there. I've been
Yeah,
in that room.
that's
You
nice
know I got
stained
married
glass.
at the ranch.
I know. Did you have the chili?
Did I have a what?
Did you have the chili at the Skywalker Ranch?
Yes, I did.
It's good chili, right?
Boba Fett chili?
We kill those cows right on the mountain.
That was back when I could eat meat, but I did have it.
Well, whether you eat it or not, we kill the cows that live on the hillside. And when people eat it, we say, "See those cows?" And people go, "Yeah." We go, well, that's what you're eating.
Yeah, we appreciate your sacrifice, but it isn't keeping a single cow alive.
Yeah. If anything, we might have killed one for spite.
Just like.
Oh, Kevin didn't order one of you. Sorry, you don't get to be food.
My bad.
I don't want to compete, but my name gets said on Jeopardy a lot.
Why?
Well, like every single question is like, Watto is convertible. Watto is the New York Giants. And I'm like, I question some of these statements you're making, but it's nice to be mentioned.
What was the first answer you gave?
Watto is a convertible?
This speedy, topless car is enjoyed by many.
Watto is a convertible?
That's right. As seen in the film American Graffiti. They go next.
I should just mention, of course, we all know that elegance has a name. And in fact, it is not a convertible.
What's happening?
Watto is happening.
The Wattomobile.
Oh, wow.
Elegance has a name.
We haven't seen this in years. Do you bring this to every show?
Yes, I do, waiting for it to become relevant. I have not left home without it in 4 years.
I don't think we've seen that since 2020.
Elegance has a name.
Wow.
The 2024 Wattomobile, which happens to be the same model as the 2020 Wattomobile.
Kevin, it's rare that we have clips from this show go viral. Okay? And I feel like the last few months, whenever someone asks you about Dogma, they go viral.
So should we?
Is there anything about this upcoming re-release that you can say that will help this clip go viral?
There was
Here on the George Lucas Talk Show, which you can watch all of on YouTube.
And if you could mention my wife's book in the clip. Remember, priceless facts about money.
There was Dogma was previously, how does one say this? My movie about angels was owned by the devil himself, and recently a different company picked it up, and so they reached out and they're like, "You want to do something with it?" I was like, "I want to do all the things with it." So this year, 2025, will be right now. In 6 days, I think it is, will be the 25th anniversary of the release of the movie. We'll celebrate it next year by taking it out on the road. So I'm going to tour it the way I tour like the new movies I make, but that's going to be so much better because selling nostalgia, especially right now, is going to be so fucking easy and stuff. Like, oh my God, remember when you were young and shit was better? Dogma, you know. So we'll take it out in the world and tour it, and then there'll be a steel book for it and stuff like that. But here's the thing.
Now, Chris, that's a STEEL.
Don't pay for
not another chance
Chris.
for you to steal one of Kevin's movies.
Got it.
You know what a steel book is, you know, right?
George,
Yeah.
you nailed that. What's the craziest thing you saw in Asbury Park before Asbury Park became Montclair South?
I really feel like on Steel Book, you missed an opportunity.
Yeah, don't steal this book.
There
As
you
a matter
go.
of fact, if you can prove that you ordered one in here, I might give you a gift, and Kevin will sign it.
Wow.
All right, back to you, kid.
So should I sell my Blu-ray, but while it's still expensive before the new one comes out?
Yeah, I would say if right now the Blu-ray you can get anywhere from $100 to $200.
That's what I'm
for it.
saying.
Sell it now before the new one comes.
You
out.
might even be over the hump now. Prime value might have been about 3 or 4 months ago.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask.
Yes.
I'll do it tonight.
Had you announced Steelbook before, specifically? Is that a George Lucas Talk Show exclusive?
I don't think
That
so.
there'll be a Steelbook?
Yeah.
I think I've said that a few times.
God fucking
All
damn
right,
it.
we're
Okay.
just trying. We're trying for exclusive.
But here's something I haven't said anywhere.
Okay.
I will do a sequel.
Wow.
And wait for it. It will not be as good as the original.
Wow.
Wow.
Let's just put it out there, be honest. I'm not going to aim high. I'm just going to like put the bar on the ground, step over it, call it accomplishment, man.
That is a promise.
That is the Jersey way.
Can we get that clean? Because I feel like we want you to say, I will do a sequel to Dogma. And just everything you did, but just get the title in it.
And then cheer when he gives the thumbs up.
And And then we'll orchestrate this so it'll be a perfect clip.
Fair enough.
Say that. All right, so you'll
It's almost
say-
like you're making the special edition of that announcement right in front of us.
A few minutes ago, we
He
did
won't
not
stop tinkering with shit.
You can't just let it lie, huh, George?
A few minutes ago, we did not have the resources to properly do this, but now we do.
Now we do. Fair enough.
So I want you to say clearly, I will make a sequel to Dogma, make the joke about how it won't be as good, etc.
Let's start this sentence with, because it was a good instinct.
Yeah.
And this is a George Lucas talk show exclusive.
Yes. Oh,
that's
like
good.
marry
That's
us to the state.
Yeah.
And then, once you've said that, I want the audience to chant Priceless Facts About Money by Melody Hobson. Priceless Facts About
how
Money.
about this? Kevin should hold the book while he's making the announcement.
George, what if Kevin steps on your foot and you make the face Jabba made when his tail got
Yeah,
stepped
maybe
on?
stand next to Kevin.
Get on the
Or
ground.
you can job a tip punch me again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
See, this is why you iterate, Gethard.
All right, here we go. Ready, kids? Just pretend fucking it didn't happen before.
Kevin, do you want me to read you in with the cue line, or are you good to take your own cue?
Give me a lead in.
Steelbook, has
by
that
the
already
way.
been announced? Yeah.
I think I have a George Lucas talk show exclusive.
Okay.
I'm going to make a sequel to Red Tails.
Wow.
Second
my
exclusive.
God.
Oh my god.
Huge.
Wow.
What?
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Oh my
Letter
God.
tails.
Wait, Kevin, Mr. Smith, follow-up question, Mr. Smith.
Redder tails.
What do you think the quality of this sequel will be relative to the original Red Tails?
And this Red Tails sequel will be so much redder.
Wow. Wow.
Red Tails 2, Red Harder.
Nazi.
What?
Nazi.
What are you talking about,
George, what the fuck is happening?
We were this close to a Red Tails sequel. You started yelling Nazi.
I know they're
No,
the bad guys.
Nazi.
What are you? What?
You repeating it isn't making it more clear.
What?
Say it one more time.
In the 90s, Wayne's World, they used to say not when they wanted to negate something. But in Red Tails, the villains are the Nazis.
Oh, that's what you were saying?
Yeah.
There's a
I was
lot of-
saying Nazi.
Why don't?
I think we're gonna have to go back for a third take on this.
Why?
I
Oh
think
my god.
There's a lot of fur on that bantha, George.
Banthas have a lot of fur on them.
George.
I feel like I've been hoisted on my own petard.
We're trying to sell my wife.
This seems like a. Should I jump in with another Jersey question?
Maybe.
All right. I've long heard
Was
rumors.
anyone here a member of the Star Wars fan club when they were a kid?
1, 2,
Bantha
3,
tracks.
4, 5,
Does
6,
anyone
7.
still have their copies of Bantha Tracks, the newsletter?
No.
2. I saw 2.
I still have mine. I still have all my my Star Wars fan club membership kit and stuff, including the full interview with you, where you were talking about making 9 movies, and I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my God, there's gonna be 9 of these. I'll be an old man by the time they're done. This will get me through this hellish fucking existence." And then when Return of the Jedi happened, you came out and you were like, "Nah, I'm done. I'm not gonna do the other 6." And
Yeah.
I was so heartbroken.
But then you
Sorry.
were in 2 of them.
I am in 2 of them,
Yeah, that's crazy.
but not his.
Sure, but there's still 2.
That's true. My name is in the blue lettering in the back credits. and
Yeah.
shit. Y'all have any blue?
Yeah,
I know
that's-
Watto's got his name in the blue.
everything I do is in blue lettering.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got in there.
Yeah, well, that's good that you're in those.
Were you ever able to figure out what you say in Force Awakens?
Yes. No.
Okay.
It's a series of numbers. It's like we have movement at, and there was a series of
Okay.
numbers. But I told people that I was the guy who's like, traitor.
Yeah.
That stormtrooper. And people were like, the fuck out of here. You're a traitor? And I was like, yeah. And shit. And then JJ wrote me an email. He's like, you're not traitor.
It does sound like you.
That's why I thought it was me.
Do
he
it-
had me do a bunch of like lines, and he was like, I'm going to put them wherever. One of them was traitor.
If you do it clean, someone will be able to edit on top
You
of
what?
it.
This is
yes,
the clip that goes
100%.
viral.
Okay. And George, let's
Shut-
play safe here.
Stop talking.
Don't
No,
yell
this is-
anything
this is what-
politically strange at the end of this.
This is what takes it viral. My performance was directed by J.J. Abrams. This performance can be directed by George himself.
George.
Ladies
All
and
right.
gentlemen, a George Lucas talk show exclusive as George redirects me.
They're not gonna like this.
For those at home, he did say they're not gonna like this, but
Can you hold
Yeah.
on? Hold on.
So Watto, have you spent much time in New Jersey?
I have, yeah. I like to kick it around. I mean, you know, I'm a big. What's the name of the nude beach again? I just call it the nude beach, like Kevin.
It's Gunnison. It's
Yeah.
parking lot G on Sandy Hook.
I'm sure you've noticed, much like Kevin said, that if you ever peep around there, there's a lot of toydarians letting it air out.
The
Just hovering.
performers are ready to perform.
Okay.
here we go.
I did a punch up, but I think you'll like it. It's pretty good.
All right.
All right,
just
do
to
we
set-
want to set the scene for?
Yeah, okay. So, Kevin, had you announced before there was going to be a Dogma Steelbrook?
No, he means set the fucking scene for Trader.
Oh, okay.
What was happening in that movie when that happened?
Ready?
Pshing. Oh, no, wait. He has a gun at this point. Pshing, I'm Finn. I don't like stormtroopers anymore.
Trader Joe's.
you were right, George. They didn't like it.
And no, they're shrieking with laughter. Read the room, Patrick. They didn't like it.
They
You've never
loved it.
heard such delight in your wildest dreams, Patrick. Such delight, and now people can dub that into the movie. It's more specific if the trader has a name. Trader Joe's. To blame for this, that would be the full line. But it's just shorthand. Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
that,
gonna
Kevin.
sign figures like that.
That's
Trader
great.
Joe.
Trader Joe's.
People are like, I don't get it. I was like, you haven't watched.
You don't need to get it.
Yeah.
I'm giving it.
Yeah.
That's what I always say when people say, I don't get it. I say, you don't need to get it. I'm giving it.
Anyone who says that to you, Kevin, I don't get it, you should respond with, and I bet you think Jabba choked to death on that sail barge, too, huh?
No, if somebody says, do you get it? I'd be like, I get it like Kit Fisto.
Whoa.
Can we talk Fisto a little? I know we've laid out the track.
Yeah.
Kid Fisto.
Great character. Compelling. Watchable. Badass. Hair slightly changes movie to movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great character.
It's 'cause- you know why?
Why is that?
He went to a salon. I didn't feel like we needed to show that.
Did you shoot that scene?
We shot it just to have it.
How does it
You
go?
shot a scene of Kid Fisto getting his hair done?
I thought we have to explain this.
What's the general gist of that scene?
Just talk about,
What's
you know
the
what
general
it's like.
gisto?
The general gisto of
What's the general gisto of Kid Fisto?
Well, guess how many arms the people at the salon have?
I'm going to say a normal amount, 2.
I'll say 3.
You're both right.
5?
That's right. 5 arms. And they're just chatting away about, oh, sunny day. And like, yeah, a bunch of suns too. Guess how many?
I'm gonna say 2.
I'm going to say normal amount, 1.
You're both right.
3!
And the thing is, you want to shoot that scene because the last thing you want, especially when you're telling a big story on a big canvas, the last thing you want is to get to that point in the story and realize it's distracting. His hair's different. We don't know why or how or when.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can assume when between the two movies.
Yeah.
But we don't know unless we see it.
Do you regret that? Like not putting it in?
No. It was too long a scene.
How long a scene was it?
About an hour long.
I'm going to
So the
agree. That
action-
sounds too
I thought-
long.
I honestly
Longer
said-
than the actual length of an average haircut.
Yeah. Well, it's not normal hair. Went through dozens of scissors trying to cut it. How cuttable do you think that hair looks?
It's very strong hair.
Because he's tough.
Yeah.
You think you get to be that tough without having strong hair? The hair was like, you ever seen how an elevator works? Those cables? Mm-hmm. They're just like wire around wire, and even if a bunch of them broke, there's still so much there.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you have no mental image of who we're talking about right now.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
figured.
a lot of hands.
Close
what
to
I
half.
figured.
Close to half.
Kid Fisto.
He's kind of a green octopus man with tendrils for
More
him.
of a squid, I would say.
A squid.
Yeah.
You would never, the humor, kids, is that you would never go in and cut your hair if you were Kit Fisto because your hair is a part of your
It's
body.
like skin.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like tentacles.
Flesh.
So instead, you would go just for a blowout. That's what a comedy
Yes.
is.
Yeah, that's why you get why it's funny.
What about like Kit Fisto getting a perm and he's got the tendrils, but now they're really squiggly? That could be funny.
Could be funny,
Could be funny.
and I won't say we didn't consider it.
But you ultimately decided against it.
Yeah.
Can I, you know what?
Yeah.
We've been having a lot of good time tonight, kids, but I just want to take a minute to acknowledge the elephant in the room. This book, Priceless Facts About Money, written by George's wife and is available in the lobby on your way out. George would like to sign copies.
But I won't. You bought a copy of
We
it?
got 2 purchases here. 2 phones being
We
held.
have people actually purchasing the.
Yes.
Gethard, at our Comic-Con panel a few weeks
Would
ago,
you like
I
an
think we
Indiana
sold.
Jones costume? You got to dress up in it right now. All
Wait,
right?
so is this gentleman?
cosplay.
He's going to dress up as Silent Bob, dressing up as Indiana Jones.
Yes.
He's already dressed as Silent Bob. He's already dressed as you. And
But let's
where
make
is
it
he
clear,
going
you-
to change?
You can go in the hallway if you
You
want
can
to.
go in Watto's weird
Why don't
closet.
You want to go in
Watto's
Watto's
closet.
closet?
You want to go in Watto's weird closet? There's another part of the prize.
Yeah.
You get to go in the weird closet where Watto goes.
Gethard, at Comic-Con a few weeks ago, I think we sold 25 copies of the book.
Of the book. Wow.
Yes.
While he's changing, can I ask Kevin a Monmouth County
Yeah,
question?
sure.
Kevin Smith, I've heard a lot of rumors that in a pre-9/11 world, Monmouth County kids used to sneak into a series of abandoned tunnels underneath Naval Weapon Stations Earl. I heard that the government shut it down. I've never met anybody who can verify that they actually went or knew someone who did. Is it true that people used to sneak underneath Weapon Station Earl?
Yes, not Weapon Station Earl. However, there is a way to sneak under what used to be the Weapon Station in Highlands. We called it Iron City, but now it's open to the public. You could tour it, and you could see this gigantic fucking gun that they used to defend the New York Harbor with. Those have tunnels that go underground, and you could go into that because that's been closed forever. Earl has never been closed,
George.
so you can't go into tunnels under.
George, what are you doing? What is that?
They're original copies, pre-special edition of Star Wars.
Oh, that's so messed up, George.
Someone,
George,
George.
there's a time and a place,
And
man.
they asked you why you needed the hammer, and you didn't tell them. I watched them ask a member of the Smodcastle staff for a hammer, and he said, "Why do you need the hammer?" And you wouldn't tell them. That is so rotten, George. That is so rotten, George.
Why?
A kid would have loved those,
Oh,
George.
So saucy.
A kid would have loved those. George.
Yeah, kids love trying to figure out how to play a VHS tape.
what was, Kevin and Chris, what was the first VHS you bought?
I remember the first VHS that I was aware my parents had taped off TV that I owned. I distinctly remember, and I will say this, if you grew up in the 80s, we all like to pretend that we weren't as affected by Police Academy as we were. But my first VHS I was aware of owning was Police Academy 3. And we have to stop the denialism. Police Academy was a big deal throughout the 1980s.
There were so
You know
many
what
of
I
them.
will I'm happy to say to that.
Jonesy.
Thank you.
That's Jonesy right there. George.
I want to point out, whoever gave this box set, the seal is still on Empire Strikes Back.
George, don't
touch
do it.
Don't
But what I'm
touch it.
saying is, whoever bought this watched 4 and 6. I told them if they do too much improv, people aren't going to want to watch Empire Strikes Back because they kept improvising jokes. And look, no one ever watched it.
George.
Don't unseal it.
Let's give some respect over here quickly. Let's give
Oh
some
my
respect
goodness.
over here.
Wow.
He belongs in a
Bum,
museum.
ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum,
Snoochie boo cheese, snoochie boo, snoochie boo cheese, snoochie boo.
Wow. Kevin, did they ever approach you to do a Police Academy reboot?
Never.
It
Nobody
feels like they would have approached all the comedy people to do it at some
I
point.
have a weird
that's probably
story. Do
why
you
they
know
didn't
my
approach
story
me.
about that?
No.
I have a very weird story about
Okay.
that. I was once set up on a meeting with Steve Guttenberg when I was very young. And in the course of it, he asked me to write a reboot of Police Academy. I was like 25. I hadn't done anything in comedy yet.
Did he have the authority to do that?
If he met you, he'd ask you
To
immediately.
be fair, Gutenberg does that to literally everybody.
I
he
would
meets.
imagine so.
He's like, you got to reboot Police Academy.
I would
Wow.
imagine
No,
so.
never. I've met him and he didn't ask me to reboot it at all.
Look at that. Look at that.
But the movies are toast.
George. George, it's so mean.
He bought a copy of my wife's book, and I said, I will spare the nice packaging. I took the movies out. All I care about is these are work prints, all right? These are not the finished McClunkies. And I don't need, it's embarrassing. Like, how embarrassing.
I hate this.
Now, here's the thing. I saw, you just released on YouTube, like, footage from Clerks that was found from little strips of things.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're not embarrassed by that kind of stuff.
No.
I am, dude. It embarrasses me.
I just think the juxtaposition between Kevin, you have spent the better part of a decade wishing you could have access to one of your finest films.
Look how he
trying to
hammers.
wrestle it back, and George is trying to take his work out of circulation.
Order my wife's book. Someone order my wife's book or this lovely package.
Back there.
Back there?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think
Kevin,
people are afraid to come up and get shit because you got the hammer up here.
Kevin, while something tragic is already happening on stage, and I don't want to bring the mood down too much, but I do think it's worth commenting. The great Tony Todd just passed away,
That's right.
who you worked with.
Yeah, Tony Todd did pass away. We lost a great one, man. He was a really sweet guy. He played Scareglow for us on Masters of the Universe cartoon, along with Griffin Newman. But yeah, Tony was, of course, Candyman, many things.
George, we're paying tribute to someone who's
Yeah,
passed.
you're shitting all over the Tony Todd eulogy over there, George.
I didn't hear what was going on. I
We're-
was
Is
busy.
that it? That's the best you could do?
What? Oh, I apologize. Tony
Don't
Todd was-
apologize to us. Apologize to the memory of Tony Todd.
I apologize to the memory of Tony Todd. Tony Todd was great.
Yeah.
Then why didn't you ever put him in a Star War?
I don't know.
He's in the new Indiana Jones game that's coming out.
Yeah.
Like it's in a month.
Take that back. He's in the new Indiana Jones game. Candyman, 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 Candyman. 5 Candymans.
You, Kevin, am I wrong in
Beetlejuice,
thinking...
Beetlejuice. I'll do it all day. Candyman, 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 Candyman. Beetlejuice. We should have 4 of them here. Right?
I think in order for that to happen, we have to do it in front of the screen, but it will take 2 hours to open the curtains. So unless you take that hammer to it.
Watto, what were you saying, Watto?
No, I was just going to say, and I don't know how I would know this, but am I wrong in thinking that you actually got to do an in-person record session with Tony Todd? Is that possible? Once again, I don't know why I would know that, but I think
did.
this is true.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
a lot of, I've heard from certain people who maybe got a big help from Masters of the Universe residuals keeping them on SAG health insurance for another year.
Don't touch me. Don't do that.
That a lot of the recordings had to happen remotely
They did.
because of the pandemic and such. But Tony Todd, I believe, was an in-person, right?
Keep fucking telling the story, Watto. I mean, go ahead. Yes, absolutely. That is exactly what happened.
What was that experience like? He had one of the greatest
with Tony
voices
Todd.
in history.
He was absolutely lovely, a sweetheart. But I kept having him get growlier. So I was like, "Oh, can you get more?" And he was like, "Okay." And then he tried it. I was like, "But can you get more?" And then he was like, "All right." And he tried it. And I was like, "Tony, can you get more like Tony Todd?" He goes, "I am Tony Todd." Wonderful fucking dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pour one out for Tony.
You do all the tapes, George?
Yeah, they're done.
The show took...
Oh, no, I haven't done
No. It's taken such a strange turn.
Don't take the sticker off. You can get money for that on eBay, George.
I don't need money. You're talking to the last person who needs to sell one of these. Oh, I gotta get money. You know, if I needed to get more money, you know what I'd do? I'd read my wife's fucking book. And I have read it, and it's great. Let's all say the title of it. Priceless Facts About Money by Melody Hobson. Priceless Facts About Money by Melody Hobson. Priceless Facts About Money by Melody Hobson. That's the clip.
Shouldn't she show up now?
My wife does not play by Beetlejuice rules. I learned that real quick. Yeah. What's next, Kevin? What's next for you?
What's next?
What can you announce? Let's get some more exclusives. Let's drop something or secrets like confessions. Let's get something you've never told anybody.
All right. What have I
Predictions. I'm also in the market for predictions.
Let me see. What have I never told anybody? There was.
You know, I'm opening a museum next year. Did
Let
you know
him,
that?
let him tell his secret.
He's thinking, so this might spark him a little bit.
Where are you opening that museum?
In Los Angeles, the Lucas Museum of
Yeah,
Narrative
yeah.
Art. Did you know about this, Kevin?
I did. I've seen the designs and stuff.
What do you think of those designs? Pretty good,
Pretty
huh?
impressive.
It's my own little Smodcastle, I call it.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can
Yeah.
you put that on the magnets?
No.
Here's something I don't think I've ever told anybody. Back when this wasn't a fashionable thing, before Empire Strikes Back came out, they re-released Star Wars just to put an Empire Strikes Back trailer on it.
Yeah.
And I begged my parents, I was like, we have to go again. And we came from a world where, like, you saw a movie in a theater once and that was it. Unless, like, somebody you knew, like, died and then you had to go see it again or something. It had to be a very special reason. So my parents were like, I was like, can we go see Star Wars again? And they're like, we've seen Star Wars. And I was like, yeah, I know, but they're going to show a trailer for The Empire Strikes Back. Well, I didn't say trailer. I said sneak preview. That's what we called it back then. They're going to show a sneak preview. And so my parents, like, they were like, if you win this SRA contest, you could do it, which was like a book reading thing.
Book reading?
Yeah.
Like my wife.
Just like
Priceless Facts About
Right,
Money by Melody Hobson.
So
I believe
it was
that
like
was
reading
available.
a book, and you write about it.
No, you just have to read as many books. It's like a readathon.
Okay, yeah.
And so I won, and so my parents took me to see Star Wars again just so I could see The Empire Strikes Back.
How many
trailer.
books did you read? Do you remember?
I
Ballpark?
don't. It was a long time
More
ago,
than
but I
two?
remember
More than
winning.
three? More than
Definitely more than two. 26, yeah, maybe 37.
69?
I was 7.
That's gross, George. Come
Yeah,
on. He
what
was
the
7.
fuck, George?
He was 7, George.
That's the fucking red tail of jokes right there.
Wait, excellent and respectful of our history? Famously
Meaning it's-
anti-Nazi?
Meaning it's very high up there.
All right, good.
Kevin,
Yes.
while we're taking a walk down memory lane,
Yes.
do you remember the first movie you saw in this theater?
Yeah, let me think. First flick I remember seeing in this theater would be, well, Jaws I saw at a drive-in.
My buddy Steve.
That's right.
That's right. It's not wrong.
Yeah, no, you're wrong. What's he like?
You know, he and I wrote a book, have sort of a book together about Norman Rockwell paintings. Do you have this? I'm not giving it to you.
You and him really wrote a book?
We're
about
the
that?
two biggest collectors of Norman Rockwell paintings. I'm going to have a bunch of them in my museum.
I've seen many of the Rockwell paintings at the ranch, at Skywalker, at
They're
your
good.
ranch.
They're good paintings.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
That dude could paint, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. He could paint.
He tells stories one frame.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I, 24, sometimes 48?
Yeah. Frames per second.
Yeah. FPS. Look how many frames it takes us to tell a story.
And look what he did.
And we got to move them so fast.
Yeah.
You know how fast you'd have to run through a museum
To make Norman Rockwell a movie?
To make you'd hurt yourself.
Yes.
You know?
There's a good chance you'd bump into a docent or
There's a
something
big
like that.
reason why This isn't true, but there's a big reason why the first movies were so unpopular, because you just run down a long hallway and look at all that. That's not true. That's not the true history of movies.
He's doing a joke.
I was doing a joke.
That's how everyone used to watch The Jazz Singer, if I remember correctly. Ran really fast, and they were like, I don't get it.
That's right. First talkie.
It's like the jazz sprinter, more like it.
Touch me. Don't touch
Watto joke.
Watto is a great joke.
Thank you. Wait, let's remember other big movies. Wait, what was the first?
I
early
remember
movies.
sitting in this theater. Let me see. One of the first times I registered disappointment from my family, not from me. I begged in this theater. We saw it. I begged my family to go see Blade Runner because I was like, "It's Han Solo's in it," and they were like, "Oh, he loves Han Solo." Okay, and so we all went. And 25 minutes into that movie, my mom, my dad, my brother, and sister all leaned forward and looked over at me. Like, what the hell, man? Like, it was fucking, that movie's too obtuse for, like, Jersey folks in the late 70s, early 80s and shit. It was as inscrutable as a fucking Israeli film for my parents and stuff. So as I sat there, man, I was engaged, but they were not engaged whatsoever in this fucking theater.
Wow.
In the theater down the way, like this used to be a single screen house. So it was just one theater. We've got 5 different screens now. They added them over the years. I was around when they added the second one, and it was fucking everything. Once again, no internet, no cable TV. So they're like, they're adding a second screen. They're like, and it's got a second candy counter. We were all like, oh my fucking God, life will never be the same. So one night, me and John Kovic go to see a movie in this theater, and now they got 2 screens. So you can sneak from one movie into another. So we paid to see what was playing here as PG
Why
movie.
would you ever do that?
I know. Look, I encourage you to do it in this very theater, man. Just make sure you buy popcorn while you do it. So we pay to see the PG movie, but then we go down this hallway to the brand new theater 2, where they're showing Scarface. And so me and John Kovic are the only 2, and we're 12 years old, sitting there in Scarface. Nobody else in there. It was 9 o'clock showing on a fucking Wednesday night. Nobody else there but us. And we're watching the movie, man. We had the whole place to ourselves and shit. My parents dropped us off. John's mom, Mrs. Kovic, Dottie Kovic, picked us up. Dottie Kovic, way better than my mom in as much as she shows up early to pick you up. She shows up. She comes in here to look for us. Her kid's not here. And they're like, oh, there's another theater down the hallway. And so she saunters down to the other theater and walks in just as Tony Montana's sister is pulling a gun out of her underwear going, you want to fuck me, Tony? With all the blow on the table and shit. Mrs. Kovic came in and fucking walked right the fuck out. John Kovic goes, we got to go. And I was like, it's almost over. Wait. And we finished watching the movie. That's why I call that theater the Dottie Kovic Memorial Theater.
My brief thoughts on those movies. Scarface sounds like it should have been a Star Wars alien character. Yeah. And for Blade Runner, it's a good movie, but I always found it was better to just make it clear, like, Harrison Ford's not a robot. This is a robot. Mm-hmm. Like, that was always my North Star in all those movies. It's like, when there's a robot. Yeah. When they're not a robot. Yeah. I can't imagine, and he did a great job with it, but I never would have made a movie where the whole point of the movie is Han Solo the same as C-3PO? And then at the end, you're like, maybe. Because he's got, toys.
It depends on the cut of the movie.
I know it does depend on the kind of the movie, but I just
cut
never...
of the movie. Cut of the movie.
Yeah, it depends on the cut of the movie, too, yeah.
But that must be a thing that annoys you as well, George, that every time Ridley made a new cut, he continued to allow the previous cut to exist. Yeah. We have 4 in circulation.
This guy never hear of a hammer?
Yeah. George, I wonder, is it meaningful to you? Because Jersey is the birthplace of cinema. The first motion pictures were shot here.
The Black Mariah, first film studio
in West Orange, my hometown.
Yeah.
Is that something that has any meaning to you or no?
Absolutely. I'm on the board of the Film Foundation. Me and my buddy Marty, I help him preserve movies.
Where?
Wherever they are.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Take us to where the movies are. We'll help preserve them.
Wait, what film foundation?
They find a bunch of movies at the
Marty's
bottom.
got the Film Foundation. I throw a ton of money at that.
They find a bunch of movies at the bottom of a bathhouse fucking jerk tub.
Wherever it is. Yeah, we preserve them. Me and Marty. I give Marty a bunch of money. He takes care of the details.
How many movies do you think they're keeping at the bottom of a bathhouse fucking jerk tank?
Couple.
What's
Good
an-
ones, man, that need restoring.
What's an early movie that you saw, Chris?
An early movie that I remember seeing?
Yeah.
Have you been to this theater before? I know this wasn't your
I
neighborhood
did.
theater.
My wife and I, before you bought this theater, I believe we saw it, Jurassic World at this theater.
Buddy,
Are you shitting me?
No, yeah. It must have been just...
You had so many choices. You picked this fucking place.
Well, we went to
we have the least comfortable seats. Look at these people. They're like, can this show be over? Fuck.
I actually think you'll appreciate this.
I will appreciate
We
it.
went down the shore. We got a nice dinner. We went to that ice cream place that's like, I think outside of Red Bank, but it's like a nice little 50s style. I always forget.
Lighthouse?
It might be.
Okay.
They have
And we were
spoons?
like, we don't want this. We're having a beautiful night down the shore. We don't want it to end. Let's just go see whatever the next movie playing is.
Are
And
you
we just
shitting
drove
me?
up here and watched Jurassic World at this theater. The earliest movies I have memories of. I remember my dad taking me to see Star Trek 4 because he was real into Star Trek and had no one else who would go with him. So I watched the Star Trek about whales when I was a kid.
That's
Voyage Home?
Voyage Home, yeah.
I remember seeing Indiana Jones.
Someone
and the Last
remember where we
Crusade.
parked?
I remember seeing Last Crusade in the theater.
But George,
Someone remember where we parked?
no, but he said Last Crusade.
What?
La- It's your movie. Are you not proud of this?
I'm proud
Don't
of
just
it.
point at the guy dressed as Indiana Jones to get
Yeah.
out of trouble.
This guy in the Last Crusade.
You're pointing at him, and he's pointing at the cutout.
Yeah. Bing bong. Ricochet. Boing boing. I don't need to throw my back out pointing at this one. You go boing, boom.
Boing, boom. Boing.
I do. If I remember right, the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade screening that I saw had a sneak preview of Captain America that was just his shield taking the screen. And as a very young comics nerd, my mind was blown. And then that movie never actually made it to theaters. It was the Matt Salinger one.
Oh, the one that didn't make it to theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gethard, you're doing a show here soon.
Oh, I'm doing a show at
Is it sold out?
Smodcastle.
Can people buy
I
tickets?
think there's a handful left. Yeah, I do a podcast called New Jersey is the World. We're bringing it to a close.
Hey.
Thanks. And we're doing our very final taping here at Smodcastle.
Come get tickets.
And I asked Kevin if he would become. We met backstage. I said, if you are in town, I would love to invite you. And you went, yeah, I'll be. And one of your guy who was there was like, you are in Denver. And you went, well, I will not be there. But it was a
And I
very
gotta-
warm interaction.
I got to compliment you on the smoothness of that interaction because you guys got that down.
You always gotta have a guy.
pattern.
Yeah.
You got to have someone when someone asks you, hey, George, are you available? I go, of course I'm available. And then you got to have the other person be like, you're not available, George. I'm like, oh, no. Here,
Or you think I
I'll
was
show
getting
you.
played?
I'm
don't
just
think
saying
so.
how it works. I'm just saying how it works.
Yeah.
Here, will you be my guy for a second
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Ask me to be on your show on the 23rd.
November 23rd here at Smodcastle. We're
Here?
closing out New Jersey's the World. Yeah.
I'm there 100%. I can't wait to do it. It's going to be so good.
George can't wait to be there.
Oh.
I can't wait. Let's
Wow.
book it.
Huge.
Let's book it. I'm going to announce George Lucas.
No, I have real people on staff that I pay well to do that. And if I don't have someone around, Melody will take care of it.
Because she understands finances, as we know.
Priceless Facts About Money by
Melody Hobson.
You know, I helped my buddy Steve finish Jurassic Park. You know that?
You helped?
He had to go off to film Schindler's List.
Schindler's
He's
List.
like, I can't finish Jurassic Park. Will you finish it? I said, I'll finish it. I did. And I did very well.
I remember.
Which actual parts were you responsible for?
Getting all the so it sounded good and looked good.
Overseeing post-production, to
Yeah.
be clear.
Final touches. Ooh, dee, 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 dee.
Is that still how movies are made, Kevin?
Yeah.
Ooh, dee, 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 dee,
Big bang, boom.
Yeah.
Learn from the best,
I
kids.
guess.
Yeah. I have some little strips of film here.
I hate it so
What?
much.
Why?
Oh, I thought that was tape that you ripped out from.
No, this is 35 millimeter film.
I love that.
Of what, George?
It's a quick
I don't even know.
turnaround, right?
Kevin, what? Can you guess what that is? What do you think that is?
It's about 8 inches.
This is funny. This is a good
What could
joke.
that be?
It's funny.
It's funny.
Looks like a frame. Look, a few frames from Phantom of the Paradise. Brian De Palma movie.
I don't know.
Hey, Buddy
It is.
Brian.
Is it?
Did you
I don't
buy a
think-
Phantom of the
no, hold on.
Paradise film, George?
Say what?
No, I was talking to
This is part of George's work with the Film Foundation. Sometimes he just ends up with a garbage bag of
Where's your
rough
jeweler's
ends
loop?
of film. And
You
he
have to
doesn't know what they
save that
are.
film, George.
He's
You
editing-
have to save that film.
He's
for
editing
the foundation.
He's editing other people's movies and taking the little clips out.
You know, here's the thing, man. Like sometimes you meet. Like, did you ever hear that story about?
Let me
who
see.
was it?
Wait, I'll tell you what
Leonardo.
it
I can't tell what they are.
I'll tell you what it is.
Leonardo DiCaprio when he met the RZA, and RZA was like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm an actor." And he goes, "Do it."
Do it.
So you're a film preserver. Do it. Let's see you preserve some fucking film.
Look, I'm doing it right now. I got my boys on it.
What is this?
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Oh, okay. It's a flag. And then there's
I know what
people,
that is. That's Crystal Skull.
Oh, it is. It's
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull,
Yeah,
my buddy
I think it's the
Steve.
beginning of Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
This one is Indiana Jones. He seems to be leaping downward towards.
That's also
gotta
Crystal
be
Skull.
Crystal Skull.
We might have all Crystal Skull 35 millimeter clips here.
Oh, this might be Indy's hat from his introduction, his character introduction in Crystal Skull.
Looks like we got
where you
three-
start on the hat and it tilts
right,
up to
you're
him
right.
putting
The
it on
bidding
his
for
head.
these starts at $1.
If only we were in a movie theater, we could string it up and see
I
what
don't
it
need
looked like.
these.
Yeah.
I've seen the movie.
Do you guys, is it all digital here or do you do film here too?
We
Kevin?
don't do film here.
Okay. Who
Throw
wants
that
these?
out.
I can't throw
Yeah.
them, so I'll give you this one.
You can
You
throw
get
it.
this one, and you get this one.
It's great. So you went digital because I made everything go digital.
Yeah, well, they went digital before we took the place over, but I remember we spoke to the people who sold
It's
it
for
to
you.
us,
It's
and they
for
were
you.
like, "This is a Lucas building." I was
Yeah.
like, "What does that mean?" They're like, "It's all fucking digital." And I was like, "Oh, that makes sense."
That's right. And we don't mean fingers. We mean ones and zeros.
Yeah.
Right? You always gotta clarify that when people are like, do you want to
That's
go?
true.
Do you want to go
If
digital?
in a world where you're talking about digital,
They get grabby.
manipulation,
People
you
get
got
grabby
it.
if they think you've just given the
Yeah.
go-ahead for finger business.
Some kids call second base pulling a Lucas now.
That can't be true. Really?
Digital only. I'm just repeating the facts.
Why are you talking to kids?
Kids talk to me. I'm sort of a wise elder of the community.
You don't have a good track
I'm
record
a
with children,
wise
Watto.
elder of the community. I have a great track record with
He has
children.
a
I've
great
made
track record with
so
kids.
much money off of children. I've never taken a loss on a child.
Watto.
Yes.
What'd you do with that money? Because I got a tip for you. There's a book right here that can teach you what to do with all that money.
Priceless Facts About Money by Melody Hobson.
Do you want to know why Melody wrote that book? Because George was like, "Hey, Melody, can you go talk to Watto? He's fucking up left and right. Someone needs to give him some guidance." And she's like, "Can I just write something and send it to him?"
She doesn't like you.
We have an interesting relationship.
Okay.
We have a dynamic.
George, did I ever tell you I worked at a movie theater the summer Phantom Menace came out? It was the Lowe's on
25
Route 1 in New Brunswick.
25 years ago?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because this is the 25th anniversary this year of
Yeah.
Yeah,
Phantom
came
Menace.
out the same
It's
year as Dogma.
Watto's 25th birthday.
My 25th birthday.
You saw I might have sold you your ticket.
Wow.
Hey, let's reenact it.
Come
You willing
on.
to get? Are we willing
Yeah,
to
but
get
hold
back?
on. In order to do it, don't do it here. You got to do it in the lobby where the ticket machine is. So
All right,
you guys
go
go,
out
do
in
it,
the
come
lobby,
back
go
and tell
read
Tell
us.
the lobby, Patrick, will you film it?
I have
We'll
to
put it
go
online?
outside
Dave
and
can
just
film it.
quietly reenact that moment,
No,
just
Dave will
one-on-one
film
with
it.
no one watching.
You can watch it on YouTube
like the most
later. We'll edit it
socially
in.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If Dave is filming it, then who's
Yeah.
filming the show?
Two
Patrick.
cameras, baby. Two cameras.
Patrick,
you go film it.
Patrick, George Lucas
I'll
is
go,
telling
I'll
you to
go.
go
Come
film
on.
it. All right, and you've been cast as the role of
Chris
young,
is going to relive a
young
fond memory. Give it up for Chris.
young ticket taker.
We're going to not see it, but we're going to believe in it, man.
It's a digital exclusive. It's like a cut for time SNL sketch.
Yeah, we've never done this before.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna bring it in. We're gonna bring it in.
We're bringing it in.
Hey, I got the joke. Three of us standing behind a podium. It's like a red state distribution auctions about that.
God, this is such a long lens. I got to be so far away.
Okay.
All right, Chris, you're selling tickets. What's your name? Bob. Bob, great. Bob is going to be buying a ticket.
1999 on
1999. Phantom Menace is out. Go ahead.
Hi, welcome to Lowe's. How can I help you?
Hey, can I get one for the Phantom Menace?
Yeah, sure. That would be $8.50.
$8.50 and 99.
That was about that, wasn't it? And then you got to ask me if the Blair Witch is real. That was happening all summer.
Okay. All right. One more time. Yeah, take it again. Yeah. Can I get one for the Phantom Menace?
Yeah, sure. That's $8.
And do you know, is the Blair Witch real?
None of us know anything about the Blair Witch. Everybody's asking. We don't know.
Oh, all right. That was scary.
Yeah. Also, Eyes Wide Shut is really horny. Eyes Wide Shut is a really horny film.
I'm like 13. All right.
American Pie, also horny, but in a much different way.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And cut.
Great.
Great. Let's go back. Thank you guys. Sorry.
For Dr. Moreau, but fun.
Wuzzles.
And so this is a combination of a bear and a butterfly, and because kids love AM radio, they made a Butter Bear AM radio. And so let's just hear what Butter Bear has to say. We've never done this before.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna bring it in. We're gonna bring it in closer.
Yeah, why
here.
we were bringing it in?
Hey, I got the joke. Three of us standing behind a podium. It's like a red state distribution auction's about to happen.
Was the collapse part of the
No, I got tripped up because we were talking about his Red movie so much that then I got
saw
in
where
my
you were going,
head,
but then all of a sudden you just
thought I
gave
lost
up.
the confidence.
Hey, look, it's a trilogy.
Three great filmmakers.
Now just try leaving it alone.
Oh, no. Three Amigos, directed by John Landis, who directed me in Beverly Hills Cop 3. Also was horribly irresponsible on the set of Twilight Zone, the movie. People died.
With your buddy Steve.
That's right. Steve was an EP on that.
George, I can't help but notice you have a bit of a dark mood tonight. I feel like you keep steering the conversation into plates. I mean, look, this has been it's been a week of emotions.
Why? What happened? Hey, you know who we haven't checked in with, and it might be a great moment because always lightens the mood.
Oh, Kevin has maybe never met our friend.
You ever met Butter Bear?
I've never met our friend.
Do you know who this is?
No, explain Butter
Okay,
Bear.
in the 1980s, Michael Eisner was in charge of Disney, and he decided, there's Butter Bear, decided that Disney should create some new characters, so they created the New Adventures of the Gummy Bears TV show, and also the Wuzzles. The Wuzzles were these animals that were sort of hybrid, sort of Dr. Moreau, but fun. And so this is a combination of a bear and a butterfly, and because, kids love AM radio, they made a Butter Bear AM radio. And so let's just hear what Butter Bear has to say.
Hold on.
Take some fine tuning.
Jacob Truba still with it. Passes out to the far wing, and Miller hits the red line and swings it around the boards. Raymond waits for it, taps it back behind the cage. Reciter finds Raymond, but loses to Lafreniere. Lafreniere puts it back behind the net for Panarin.
I heard him mention something about a red line. That's on theme with Red State and Red Tails.
I was pretty sure I heard it say something about, I'm a bear, I'm terrified, don't leave me in Central Park.
Too far from Raymond for DeBrincat. Lafreniere, though, can't clear as DeBrincat keeps it at a near circle. From one knee, passes back out to the point. And then Edmondson shot.
Oh,
Red Wings?
The Rangers
So we got Red
Wings.
Tails and Red Wings?
Red Tails, Red State, Red Wings trilogy.
Although technically a blue state, thankfully.
What about that? What if you called the sequel Red Tails Redemption?
Red Tails Redemption.
I just want to announce that I have 2 copies. One is of the Star Wars, one is Empire Strikes Back. George did not successfully
You
damage
saved
them.
them. Give it
We're
up
gonna
for Chris.
we're gonna auction them off for Smodcastle Cinemas right now.
Here we go.
Kevin Smith will sign these copies, and George, there's
100%.
nothing you can do about it. All right?
I will get Big Lake re-released on 4K.
My little known failure of a sitcom from 2010.
I will get it on 4K, and I will get it in cinemas.
I understand that that's impossible to find.
No, I have it. I do.
Go ahead and have your auction. Tell me I'm powerless.
This is truly my dark side moment.
You can save those 2 copies, but the embarrassment shall be yours.
Yeah.
This one has a slight crack, but I think it'll still play.
It's worth it, Geth.
Both tapes.
If you wanna come here to this fine theater and sell crack, that's your decision.
Don't re-release Big Lake.
I'll see what I can do.
Auction them off.
No, go ahead, auction them off.
Auction them off.
It's for a good cause.
Star Wars Empire VHS original cuts starting at.
Do them separate. Yeah, break.
If you buy it, you're allowed to break. I can't stop you from doing that.
Do them separately.
We got $5. $5. Do I hear more than 5? 10. We got 10 back here. All right. 15. I'm hearing 15. What's that in the back? 20. I've got 20 in the back. 25. Kevin's 37. I hear a 50. Who said 50? We got 50 in a row, indeed.
What's back
50.
here? 60.
$60 for Smodcastle. $75 for these 2 tapes. 75. What's that? $80 for these 2 tapes.
Put them in this Rebels bag.
In a Rebels bag, no less.
Wow.
All to the benefit of Smod. Oh, you son of a bitch. No. I saved them. 80. I've got 80. We're going to hit the century bell. Yes. Hello? 100. Clap for the century bell. $100 for these 2 tapes. Nothing George can do about it. Release Big Lake, motherfucker. The people deserve the truth. They need to see me
I like
and
Big
little
Lake.
Griffin Newman acting our asses off on that thing.
I was only joshing. I love Big Lake. I think alongside Radioland Murders, it's one of the most iconic comedies of the past 50 years.
We got $100 going once. $120. $120. $130. Will this be our highest auction of the night? What did we hit? 160 on the first boat. 130. I've got 130 going once.
I'll throw in a free poster too.
130.
Free full-size signed poster by George Watto and I.
130 going once.
Wow, that did nothing.
Patrick, you really.
We lost money.
You killed my I had so much momentum. 130 going twice. And a bunch of broken ones. I'm gripping the bag, iron-fisted though. Oh, with the covers. 130 sold. Thank you so much, but we need your guy.
Excellent.
We need your guy with the credit card reader. All for Smodcastle.
Connor back there.
Let's get Connor here, please.
Ernie, if you want to eat, get the fuck over here.
We got a giant bag of some damaged, some undamaged tapes.
She's walking out.
She's leaving.
You will get it later. You get it later.
Oh, I forgot part of the movie.
Oh, yeah, let's make sure we get it all in there.
Ooh, it's my favorite scene.
Which is that?
The scene where Jar Jar steps in poop.
She's personally going to get the manager who will check her out.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
There's Connor. Connor's doing it.
Look at that. $130 for a bag of slightly damaged to undamaged original Star Wars.
Which really
cuts.
makes me feel like we should throw in a copy of Priceless.
Whoa.
That's my copy,
By
Kevin.
Melody Hobson.
George, we should probably start wrapping up.
All right, let's start.
We don't have to. We don't have an out, but I just feel
wish
like
that George just broke into freestyle
we don't
rapping.
have to. All right, let's keep going. Never mind.
The longest show we've ever done here was, well, like
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Volgathon, I guess, would be the longest show. That was like 16 hours.
Oh, good. All right, we have 14 more hours.
Yeah. Beat that. But you guys could go as long as you like.
Right. Well, my name is George Lucas, and I'm here to say
He's rapping.
No, I got it.
that Indiana Jones is here to stay. I see him over here. I see him over there. I see Indiana everywhere.
I just want to say I love you to death.
Hold on. Bars.
Never mind. I was going to say this is a low point.
You've hit both ends tonight. High point, telling Kevin all your Jersey thoughts. Low point, bars.
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 What does that mean?
That means you know how to rhyme. You know how to. You dropped a hot 16 right there.
That's
off
right.
the top of your head, I watched it happen.
That's right. That was off the dome.
And you know what? You didn't need to do that.
No.
Fucking the guy who wrote The Power of Myth, Joseph Campbell. You don't need that shit.
Yeah.
You just rapped right from your fucking heart, George.
That's right. I thought you'd like it, Chris.
I did like it, George. I'm just trying to play along.
I know. We razz each other. We have fun, don't
Yeah, we always have.
we? Yeah.
Yeah.
When you guys were talking before, I never saw Jersey Boys. Is that what that musical's like?
Yeah.
When you guys were talking?
Jersey Boys is a musical where the people in the musical are like, oh my God, have you ever been to Bud's grave? And they're like, yeah.
Because I think that sounds good. That
Yeah.
I would go see Jersey Boys if I thought they're just gonna like.
That's what it's like. I mean, textually, but what it sounds like is, you ever go to Bud's grave? Bud's grave. Birthday baby.
Did you get mad when Jersey Boys came out because you had already done Jersey Girl?
Yeah, I was like, well, I thought I was going to get rich. I was like, oh, it's a sequel and they didn't ask my permission. No, not at all.
I will say something. No, he's an Essex County guy. He's also from the Oranges. I'm not trying to disrespect Zach Braff. The only person who should have made a movie called Garden State was you.
Oh,
that title, he should not have been allowed. The Film Foundation should have prohibited him from using that title.
We don't. We're not. That's not what we do. We don't shut down production on active films. We preserve films that we might not have copies of them. We restore them. Do you like Night of the Living Dead?
Sure, yeah.
Gethard, yeah.
Sure, yeah, but you could take it or leave it.
I'm not really a horror guy.
But if that film wanted to be preserved, you'd be in favor of that.
Look, I was a big fan of the VHS version of the fucking original trilogy. You didn't preserve that shit at all.
I didn't destroy episodes 1 through 3. That's the original trilogy. I think you've been reading some false stuff online.
Fair enough.
About what the OT is.
Kevin, you're a big Romero guy. You the Monroeville Zombies. You work
Yeah.
a lot of Dead trilogy stuff into your work. Yeah.
I'm a big Romero fan. Why? Why are we? Why?
George is trying to take credit.
No, if you get the Criterion, do you have the Criterion of that?
Of
I saw
Night of the Living
I
Dead?
saw a stack of Criterions in
the office.
In the office
That's
over
because
there.
I went and did the Criterion closet.
What'd you pick in the closet?
Everything.
That was a lot.
Just went like this.
Did you pick the first film I worked on? Because that's in the collection. That's in the Criterion. And I bet you don't even know what it is. You claim to be a Star Wars fan. You claim to be a George Lucas fan.
Man, this is
but
why I hate Star Wars fans, because like I know something you don't, so you're not a Star Wars fan.
Do you know what title in the Criterion collection was my first film credit?
It's not THX 1138.
Because that's not in the collection.
So
it's not Kachamusha, which I'm a producer on, because that's in the collection.
Can I give Kevin a hint?
It's not Paul Kotze.
Someone died during filming.
Oh yeah, it was kind of like a John Landis style production.
Yeah. Oh, the Twilight Zone movie. Wait, someone died during the filming.
It's not a narrative film.
But there is a story.
Yeah.
And a death.
Is it the Apocalypse Now documentary?
No, that's not in the collection.
It's not in the Criterion collection?
No.
Francis,
How do you know what's in the Criterion
Because
collection?
I've been in that closet. I
Yeah,
know what's
but you
in-
looked at every title?
Yeah, you look around, they're all there.
Let's
What
play.
were you like? You go into the closet like this?
I want to play Criterion Closet with you. I'm going to name a title.
This is
and
my
you tell
impression.
me.
This is my impression. I don't do a lot of impressions. This is my impression of Kevin Smith in the Criterion Closet.
It was actually more like this. I'm going to play the game where Criterion Closet. I'm going to say a title, and you got to tell me if it's in the Criterion collection.
Oh, I'd be bad at this. I'm an 80-year-old man. Please
I
don't
think
do
I
this.
might be weirdly good at this.
All right, Watto. If I'm looking at you, it's just because we're friends.
Sure thing.
Angel.
I don't think it is.
Is that your
The
final
Joss
answer?
Whedon series, the spinoff of. I'm pretty sure Fishing with John is the only TV series in the
Are
collection.
you talking about the sex worker horror film?
Yes.
Yeah, not in the
That's not in the collection.
Honor, Student by Day, Hooker by Night.
Not in the collection.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean, I barely remember.
Hollywood Shuffle.
That's in the collection.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah. That's fairly recent. That's in the past few years it got added.
You're right.
Nice to see more comedies getting added into the collection. This is how we get to the 14 hours, by the way.
Yes. Man Bites Dog?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, don't tell him.
I said yeah, and then they said yeah. It's just like a call and response thing.
Harkening back to those bars that you dropped, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Priceless facts about money. Yeah. Priceless facts about money. Yeah. Priceless facts about money. Yeah. Priceless facts about money. Yeah. Priceless facts about money. Yeah. Priceless facts about money. 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 All right, back to my quiz of you. What is the George Lucas joint that's in the Criterion Collection? It's from one. I'll tell you, I was working on it with my buddy Walter Murch.
You and Murch.
Me and Murch.
The Murch table himself.
We up on the hillside. If they were to make a George Lucas biopic, this would be my pitch for like the opening scene. We're testing out our cameras up on the hill. It's late 1960s, and we're at Altamont.
It's a documentary, and
It's a
someone
documentary.
died.
He worked on that? You worked on that?
He did.
What did you do on it?
Camera jammed. None of the footage was usable.
The second biggest tragedy that happened during the filming of Gimme Shelter.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun.
Every day's a school day.
Yeah. But what'd you get in the closet? What are some things you got in the closet?
That stack was like 30 movies high upstairs that we saw.
I literally just went like this.
Yeah. How'd we get on the topic of the closet? What started it?
Do you remember? George? Did you grow up East Coast?
No. I'm a Modesto boy.
When we were kids, there was a game on PIX. Do you remember this, Chris?
The thing where you could call in? I
TV
do.
picks.
Yeah.
TV picks.
If we start
WPIX.
talking PIX and WWOR, we could be here all night.
Oh, WPIX was our channel 11 before it became an affiliate to something else. It was an independent station, and they would do this game during after school, like when kids were home from 3 till like 5, at the top of every half hour. It was called TV Picks. And they would put an Intellivision game on screen, like that game that had the little viewfinder, and then spaceships would go through it periodically, and then you would fire and shoot. So the name of the game was TV Picks, and you call in, and you get chosen, like you're the 99th caller and shit. And you'll go, oh my God, and they, where are you from? And they say, where are you from? What's your name?
Chris from West Orange. It would be
Chris from West Orange. Are you ready to play the game?
yeah, let's go.
Okay, here we go. So what you do is, in order for them to fire, Chris has to say a thing, and then the person at the TV station, who, mind you, there's probably a 3-second delay, would press the fire.
We did this on Gethard's show.
Yeah, we did a public access episode that was a ripoff
straight
of
up
this.
stole this.
Yeah.
There were kids that literally tried to target the ships, and they would just be like, Picks. And then there were smart kids that were just like, Picks. And motherfuckers just did rapid fire and shit like
George,
that.
what are you looking for?
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember why I brought up Criterion Collection in the first place.
Kevin, if we're talking about local Jersey TV, did you watch Uncle Floyd growing up?
Yes, of course.
Uncle
absolutely.
Floyd's the best.
Uncle Floyd with the Otto puppet as well. Otto is my favorite part of the
And
show.
the Oogie puppet,
Oogie,
too.
the little Oogie puppet, but I
Yeah.
love the Otto thing because you could put disguises on it.
Yeah,
So
I'm not shocked to hear that you liked Uncle Floyd.
Loved Uncle Floyd. And still, he's just recently I passed my church that I grew up going to, my parish, Our Lady of Perpetual Help, and they're having a Knights of Columbus dinner with special guest Uncle Floyd.
Wow. He's still out there.
And I was like, oh my God, I want to go. And Ernie was like, you're going to be in Denver. And I was like, oh.
Night of the Living Dead, Criterion Collection. I helped restore that movie. I threw some money at them. They restored it.
At the beginning of the restoration, it said special thanks to George Lucas.
That brings me back to my
Is it true?
TV picks, because
Right.
you taking credit for me for that reminds me of the kid being like picks.
Yeah, and TV makes me think of Jay Ward, who created
Bullwinkle.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. So now
let
we're
me
gonna get
take
into
out this pin from the wall.
it. That's right. I'm a big Jay Ward guy. I love
Massive
him.
Jay Ward guy.
Yeah, I loved the Dudley Do-Right Emporium. I know you loved it too. It's a big
I
inspiration
did.
for
you.
you.
You went? You were actually there?
I went. Yeah, they
First
couldn't-
time I ever went was 1986, and I
Yeah.
met his wife. She was there. She was working the counter.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, the Dudley Do-Right Emporium was kind of like Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, but just for Rocky, Bullwinkle, Dudley Do-Right, Sherman and Peabody, all the Jay Ward characters.
Yeah.
Captain
Fractured Fairy Tale.
Natasha, Boris.
Not all of them.
Natasha
They didn't have any Crusader Rabbit. They didn't have Super Chicken.
Bullshit, they did have
Did
Crusader
they?
Rabbit and Super
Not when I was
Bullshit,
there, they didn't
George,
have-
bullshit.
When I was there, they
You could
didn't
buy
have
a
them. So
Super
they obviously
Chicken watch, and you could buy a Crusader Rabbit drawing.
They have Hippity Hooper.
But
Yeah.
they had Crusader Rabbit.
When I went in there, I caused a stink. So I'm assuming you went after me because I went around there and I'm like, it's great that this is here. But I'm heartbroken that Hippity Hooper didn't get anything.
Hippity Hopper.
Hooper.
Hooper.
Oh no, Kevin, you don't want to do this, buddy. You don't want to do this.
Hey, Gethard, when you agreed
I'm
to
trying
do,
to get the show to 4 hours.
when you agreed to do this show,
I forgot
and you-
to ask how long the show was.
You brought your son.
I did.
But also, you're like two of my heroes, right?
Yeah,
Kevin
yeah, yeah.
Smith and George Lucas. What
Fighting
none of us
about
shared the stage
Hoppity
with.
Hooper.
More specifically,
I think it's Hippity.
arguing about what Hoppity Hooper merchandise was sold in 1986.
Kevin.
Debating
Kevin.
if there was a watch or there was not.
Kevin.
Yes.
I'm not here to school you, but that's Hippity Hopper.
Yes.
That's Hippity Hooper.
Oh, the frog.
Yeah. Hippity Hooper, Skippity
I
Snooper.
don't fuck with frogs.
You see that? You see it says Hippity Hooper in Skippity Snooper.
Yeah, no.
That's the takeaway from tonight. I don't fuck with frogs, man.
Hippity Hooper in Skippity Snooper.
I don't care.
I care.
I'm not Richard Kimball, and you're not Lieutenant Gerard.
What? Is that a fugitive reference?
Yeah,
I
he
didn't kill
said
my
the
wife.
classic line, I don't care. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. I'm not here to do fugitive cosplay with you.
If you ever want
So
to,
this
let
has
me know.
nothing to do with cosplay this evening?
No. This is just a normal talk show.
Well, there's
man.
this guy.
Yeah.
There's that guy.
That's Indiana Jones.
Bing.
Bing.
Yeah.
So, but that's an easy mistake because you think, here's the thing, and you might not know this. Hippity Hooper is a frog.
I don't
It
fuck
makes
with
sense
frogs,
that his
man.
name would be Hippity Hopper, right?
Yes.
That makes sense. But that's how funny Jay Ward was. He didn't call him Hippity Hopper. He called him Hippity Hooper. And one of his adventures is called Skippity Scooper. Skippity Snooper. Chris, you got any plugs? 23rd, back here.
Smodcastle, 23rd, New Jersey is the world. We say goodbye, yeah.
23rd
And of
right
course-
here at Smodcastle Cinemas.
Of course, you're Beautiful Anonymous.
Oh, yeah,
Something like
Beautiful
that.
Anonymous. Yeah, that's my podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should also
Laughing Together, the new nonprofit I have where we send comedians into schools to help kids with mental health.
You have permission?
Oh, fucking that
Yeah.
rocks.
You have permission?
What's that? Do you get permission before we go into the schools? Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah,
make sure.
we give them a heads up that we're on the way.
I don't want to. I just wanted to
We don't
be
just
careful.
send comedians in to non-consensually assault children with improv comedy games.
You said we send comedians into schools, and I thought I just want to check to make sure that because if you
Yeah, no,
weren't-
we get the thumbs up.
if you weren't getting permission, that was going to be the next bit of advice I offer was you should ask first.
No, yeah,
Unless that's part of the joke.
No, we get permission from the schools before we have the comedians show up. Yes.
Before you send the comedians into the school.
Yeah.
You wait in the car?
What?
You wait. The organizers wait in the car?
Where are you getting that from?
It's just when he says we send comedians into schools, it pictures someone's not going in.
Also, it sounds like they don't want to go into the schools.
No.
Just think about it, if you send,
We reach out to schools. We tell them about the service we provide. If
That all
they are
makes sense.
into it, then we provide a contract. They sign the contract and
I don't have
down
questions
payment
about
of some
any
sort.
of this part.
At which point we tell the comedians the address of the school, and they get there on their own.
Oh, self-reporting.
Okay. All right. That's all I want to know because you said we send comedians into schools. And it just sounded like someone staying outside. And I wondered why. And now I know. There's not like a driver that waits. They don't come running out. Come on.
Well, that's sort of like when you sent Lando into Jabba's castle and Luke just inexplicably waited outside.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you these questions.
He doesn't get it.
Yeah, because that didn't go well for everybody. They never got Jabba.
Eventually. Well, no, I guess they didn't get him in the end. Yeah.
Jabba died the best way anyone died in a Star Wars movie, getting choked off.
No, as the French call it, that was a little death.
Le Petit Mort.
All right. So what was the name of that organization? Laughing in the schools?
Laughing together. Not laughing in the schools, no.
I didn't know. Laughing together.
And Geth, you should also.
Spelled.
No, sorry. I was just gonna say you should also plug Big Lake coming back to theaters in 4K nationwide.
Gethard, when Gethard was on the Lucas show during COVID, we did a rewatch of Big Lake with a bunch of people from the show.
Yeah.
And we had to put it up so people at home could also watch the show. Do you remember this?
Oh, and I kept getting pulled off of YouTube, so you had to put it on a pornography site.
Put it on Pornhub. It might still be up there. I don't know.
Wait.
So you can watch me on a failed sitcom from 2010 on a porno site.
Can you wait?
No.
Yeah, you can't search my last name.
Will you look it up now and see if it's still there, Patrick?
I guess.
Pull up Patrick. Just jump on Pornhub real quick in front of all these people.
Pull up the app.
Well, Watto and I can awkwardly see your continue watching tab.
I'm not gonna miss a second of this.
So, just to clarify, living together, is that spelled T-O or
Laughing together.
Laughing together.
Keep going.
No.
Thanks so much for the plug, George.
It's only sending me to Lake Como videos in Italy because that is a big lake.
Patrick, keep scrolling.
Okay.
No,
Go right to the, what porn site was it?
It was Pornhub.
Can you search?
I don't
Just
see
go
it.
and search on Pornhub.
Can you search Big Lake Funny?
So just to be clear, laughing together, it's not, you don't put a number 2 for the at the beginning of together.
No, we spell out the word.
All right.
And that's .org, George.
What?
That's .org.
.org?
Yeah.
For organization. Right?
I think they took it down.
I believe so.
Well, because it could be like Princess Leia Organa. General Organa.
Bail Organa. Senator Bail Organa.
Also, she becomes a general?
She does, yeah.
And she didn't take Solo's name?
No.
So she's general, right?
Yeah.
Why do we got to credit only the guy generals? What is this? Return of the Jedi, where we cut out all of the female X-Wing fighters?
George, you know who, speaking of generals, you know who I didn't like?
What?
You know who I didn't like? I did not like General Grievous.
General Grievous?
Yeah.
Why, you don't like people with asthma?
Just not my favorite character. I felt like...
Oh, he was,
he
was never designed to be everyone's favorite character. I would think if someone came up to me and said, you know who my favorite character in Star Wars is? General Grievous. You know what I would do? I would call the police. I would call the police and say, I don't know what crime has been committed, but watch this person. In what world do you think I want anyone's favorite character to be General Grievous? He was a monster.
He's got a point. Don't look at
Sorry,
me.
George. I was just trying to fuel this conversation as we enter hour 6.
You got fucking fistoed on that one.
It's true. It's true.
Kevin, was that? Well, I don't do that by request. I do it because I have the urge to do it.
Wait, we got to perfect it. So we go boom, and then we go, and then I go, no, you go first Death Star, and I go second Death Star.
Okay, first Death
Here we go.
Star.
Ready? Try it.
First Death Star.
Second Death Star.
Kevin, what do you want to promote?
What do I want to plug?
The 420 movie?
The 420 movie.
The 430 movie.
430. We had it.
430?
Yeah. 430 movie
I haven't.
out right now.
I haven't. You know, I haven't seen it yet.
It's okay. I haven't seen Red Tail, so we're even.
Well, I've had less time to see your movie.
Yeah. I'm getting
Should we make each other a promise before we see each other again? You see Red Tails,
and you see.
And I see 430 movie.
Yes, George Lucas.
We promise that.
Yes. 100%.
All right. I don't want to be walking down some hallway, my wife signaling to you like she recognizes you,
and I'll
her
be
whispering in my ear.
I'll do this. If I've seen it, I'll go.
And if you haven't seen it?
All right. It's a deal.
And I have a podcast. Can I plug my podcast?
Well, can you imagine if the answer was no? Of course you can plug your podcast.
Beardless, Dickless Me, it's called.
With your daughter?
I do it with my kid. Oh, that sounds terrible. I do a podcast with my kid, and it's called Beardless, Dickless Me.
I put my kids in the Star Wars movies. I made action figures of them. First sister.
Second sister. And Smodcastle. I plug Smodcastle all the time. You all have a good time at Smodcastle, kids.
Can I legitimately ask, because it's bothered me sometimes, does it make them seem lazy in Empire that they don't make a Death Star in that one? Like,
Yeah.
Does it make it seem like they're just like, what are they doing?
Yeah, they were like, you know what? This time, we'll send Snowwalkers. That's better.
I just worry that it looks like they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
If you're not making Death Stars and you're the bad guys, what are you doing? Right?
It's true.
You agree, Chris?
I'm of the controversial opinion that I liked Empire Strikes Back as is.
But
Please don't go back in and edit Death Star. Please do not go back in and edit Death
with
Star.
that one, even though you didn't make that one?
I did make that one. What do you think? Who do you think paid for it?
Irving Kershner.
He didn't pay for it.
But he made it.
He directed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Richard Marquand directed Return of the Jedi. I know you're a director, but you know who pays for it, right?
Fair enough, yeah.
Right? You know who makes it, right?
Yeah.
I think it is true, though, that Empire is the one where you've made the least changes to the original work print. 100%. Is that right?
It's hard because so much of it is improvised that you can't cut around it. Like, you know this. It's the reason why they didn't make an ASCAT TV show. It's too hard to cut around all the freaking callbacks. And it's like, well, if we edit that scene, then it's like there's no second beats. What about the group game? All this stuff.
Yeah.
You're an improv guy. That's why you like Empire Strikes Back, because it's basically like that Birbiglia movie. Like, almost like when I saw Don't Think Twice, I thought, is he doing like what Gus Van Sant did to Psycho? Is this a shot for shot? It's like all the improv in Empire.
I just want to restate. When you saw Mike Birbiglia's New York comedy character dramedy.
Yeah, it felt like shot for shot remake of Empire Strikes Back.
You wiped your glasses and went, am I watching a shot for shot remake of The Empire Strikes Back?
Who did you think I was?
When you come
When my
out,
character in that movie, like who in Empire was I?
you were the part where Luke Skywalker was hanging naked in that thing, and you will come into the green room and you're naked, and I'm like, this is the same freaking scene.
The back the tank.
The back the tank.
You were the back the tank.
To be fair, good pull, George.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Birbiglia used to talk about you a lot on set.
What would he say?
He would just constantly tell stories about what you did during Empire. Like, I'm not trying to fuel the controversy here or create any sort of conspiracy, but he did talk about Empire Strikes Back a fair amount while directing Don't Think Twice.
Wow. Yeah. Well, My Girlfriend's Boyfriend was the working title of one of the Star Wars movies at one point. But I'm like, this tips it. I was going to call it My Girlfriend's Boyfriend is My Sister. Is my sister's boyfriend, because my girlfriend is my sister. And I'm like, this title's too long. Let's call it Return of the Jedi. That's a Birbiglia reference. Well, I don't know what else there is to do in this
Can
show.
I plug some of our upcoming shows for people?
Of course, Patrick.
Okay.
How professional.
We got a bunch of shows coming up. A lot of these probably will not apply to any of you. Next Saturday, George is involved in this. We're doing a live reading of Revenge of the Sith in Los Angeles at Dynasty Typewriter. You can buy live stream tickets at mustafarla.com. It's very fun. It's an insane cast in Mustafar LA. December 4th, we're going to be in Houston, Texas. December 5th, we're going to be in Austin, Texas. December 14th, we're doing 2 holiday special shows at UCB in New York. Those are also live streamed. This has not been announced yet, but by the time it goes up on YouTube, it will. So I'm just going to say it. February 2nd, February 1st, that's Saturday, whatever that Saturday is, we're going to be at San Francisco Sketchfest. February 2nd, we're going to be doing a live read of the Star Wars Holiday Special at San Francisco Sketchfest. And then February 4th, we're going to be at Dynasty Typewriter in Los Angeles doing 2 shows that will also be live streamed. And then we're also going to have a table out there with a bunch of posters. George Watto and I will be out there signing them. If you line up in this line out here, we'll come out and come say hi and take pictures and all
Dynasty
that stuff.
Typewriter is great.
It's the best.
Yeah, I was just there fairly recently. It's a good place.
It's great.
And Watto, do you have anything to plug or any closing thoughts?
I look forward to buying the steelbooks of the 4:30 movie and Dogma. George, I would appreciate if you kind of kicked the tires at Disney, asked them to put Red Tails out on a steel book. Might kind of even the score. Anything I have to plug. Priceless Facts About Money by Melody Hobson.
And may the force be with you always.